Oh, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Mind is it's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Minded, 49er Minded. Can't shake it. It's 49er Mind that I got. It's 49er Shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session about our red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions, let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how they spin in the spot. Let's all that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind. 49er minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er minded, but a way of life. The Shark. 49er minded. Way of life. 49er minded.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. I'm happy with my co-host tonight, which is Beto from Niners Sickness Podcast. How you doing, bro?
Way of life. I love that intro, bro. Love it, man. Great job on your intro. Thank you for having me, bro. Excited to talk a little bit of football with you tonight, brother.
Yeah, so Beto and I, like we normally do, actually, when we're not really zoned in on major hardcore football talk or major post-game talk or recapping games, we're going to definitely talk our football, but we do go off topic a lot too. We do a lot of chill, funny stuff, and whatever may come about, just expect it, because we like to be impromptu, and so not everything's scripted here, and I just think it's more fun that way.
Absolutely. Freestyle, baby. Freestyle. Just go with the flow.
Yes, sir. Don't go with the flow, go with the current. So tough loss on Sunday. I didn't do my normal post-game recap on Sunday like I normally do. I wasn't in a state of mind where I was ready to punch walls and throw three things or jump off a cliff or anything like that. Definitely, if I'm ever mad about something during a Niner game and it's a devastating loss, for the most part, I'm just deflated. Like my energy levels are just gone. So I literally had no energy to the way I'm talking now. If you saw me go live in front of a camera on Sunday, you would have fucking click away. Like you click I'd be one mouse click away, or you'd shut the phone on your app. You'd be like, dude, this guy sucks. Like I literally wouldn't be able to hold a proper conversation. So therefore, I'm here now. So, here with my boy Beto, I'm sure some people are going to show up a little later in the chat. Normally say, oh, well, Beto's in the chat. He says, everyone, welcome to the chat. There you go. They put some new features for you. I think you're a mod on this chat, but yeah, I mean, not that I was sitting there expecting and guaranteeing a win, because I definitely was not. I go into these games, especially when they're playoff games, loser goes home, with the mindset, obviously, that, hey, this could be our last game of the season. This is not a guaranteed win. Even if we go into a game where we're the most stacked team on planet Earth and that team just barely squeaked into playoffs, I still won't have that mentality. But, hey, we faced a team that was a great match for us. They were probably equally as matched as we are, but the unfortunate happened, and we all know what that was.
Injuries, bro. Injuries. People don't realize that when you get an injury that devastating to your starting quarterback in the first series that he's in, it just deflates all the energy out of you. You come in with all this energy, you come in with all these vibes, you're feeling good, you're ready to have a great game, and then an injury like this happens. It's just a blow that sometimes you can't recover. And unfortunately, we were not able to. And I feel that not only Niner fans, but I think all fans of all teams, even the Eagle fans, the real ones, have to admit we got robbed from a real good game, because at the end of the day, no matter who would have made it to the Super Bowl, if it would have been a good game, the best against the best, it would have been fun to watch this game. As soon as Brock went down and Josh Johnson was the one coming in, the game was over. It wasn't a good game anymore. It was a handicap game, and I just feel that the football world got robbed.
Our quarterback was handicapped. Our team was handicapped. Our coach was handicapped. It was not fun. It was not a pretty sight. Literally the Eagles. If I was the Eagles D coordinator, the moment Purdy went down and was out, I would have just stacked the box with 10 players and just left one safety. I would have ran goal line defense. The goal line defense, the whole fucking game. That's it. And towards at one point in time, they eventually started doing that when they realized how we were never gonna ever back up and throw the ball and pass at all.
Yep.
Yeah. What up? Who's in here? Desick. First time I seen you. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you. Like, and subscribe. If you're a 49er fan, I'm assuming you are. Welcome to the family. Thank you. If you're not a 49er fan, you're still welcome to watch. It's all good, bro. What's up, Cygnus? What are you gonna say?
No, just I lost train of thought when you were said hello to the.
Oh, it's all good. I was just saying that how the Eagles could have just ran goal line defense the moment.
Oh yeah,
Purdy went down.
That's right. Yeah, they were putting 10 in the box, bro. They were not worried about our pass. They weren't worried about covering Deebo or Ayuk or Kittle. It was all about bring everybody in and just go after whoever's under center. At that point, you have a quarterback they just can't throw over 5 yards in Purdy because of the injury. And I don't care how good of a running team you are, when they know you're going to run, it's impossible to run against 10 in a box, man. It was downhill. And good. I mean, great for the Eagles. Their defense did what their defense was supposed to do. They took advantage of a situation that arose, and kudos to their defense. But I still think we all got robbed from what of a great game they could have been if Brock Purdy would have been healthy, in my opinion.
Yeah, the league got robbed. All that great NFL fans got robbed. Sure, the Eagles fans were probably sitting there laughing. Haha, this is easy for us. We're definitely going to the Super Bowl. They're partying, drinking up, and getting as drunk as possibly they could, while they're watching the game and dancing around and having fun. But the real NFL fans were like, I'm pretty sure the ratings were just down the drain in that game. I kid it. And like the moment Purdy went down, I'm pretty sure the ratings just went to shit. This would have been an epic matchup. On paper, it was like one of those Tyson versus Holyfield fights, and then it ended because Mike Tyson bit fucking Holyfield's ear. That's basically how it felt. Sure, Holyfield won by default, but I mean that's, and not to take anything away from the Eagles. They're a very strong team, but what match? This was nothing for the Eagles. This is as if the Eagles were playing a fucking Pop Warner team once Purdy went down.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. It wasn't a fight. And the reality is, and I really believe the Eagle fans are going to get a true awakening that they played a Giants that is really not a good team with Daniel Jones, and beat them pretty badly. Then they played us, and because of injury, they beat us easily. They haven't truly been tested, in my opinion. Now they're going to go into a Super Bowl to play with arguably the best quarterback playing right now, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they look pretty good. And then Patrick Mahomes is going to have 2 weeks to kind of heal up. And what people don't realize, and what Eagle fans don't realize, bro, is that the Chiefs this will be their 3rd Super Bowl. They know about the luggage and the hotel planning and getting tickets for family, all that craziness that happens. They're already used to that. This is the Eagles' first time under this regime. They're going to be caught looking at the stars, all in the excitement of the Super Bowl. And a lot of times experience takes over. And this can be an ugly game for the Eagles, man. And I'm not just saying that because they beat us, but they really didn't challenge themselves by beating the Giants and then beating us with a handicapped quarterback.
You're right. I mean, I wouldn't say these past 2 games are great preparation for the Eagles. You think the Niner game would have been? You think it would have been? Of course, Purdy is not Mahomes, but just the whole all that plethora of talent surrounding Purdy and the way Purdy plays, and with his, I mean, Purdy, I said it before on previous podcasts, he's not an elite quarterback. Of course he's not, but he has an elite demeanor about him in terms of being his calm and his poise in the pocket. And what up, Fazil? Fazil's here. See you there. There's my guy Bashar. What up? Says Niner Sickness. What up, bro? Yeah, we threw this up podcast together at kind of the last minute, but we appreciate all you guys who are coming in and watching. He says, very unfortunate the way the game went, just everything went against us. Yeah, and I know people were talking about the refs, this and the refs that, and I know they definitely were not doing the refs. The refs could have done a whole lot better job. I totally get that, but you know, had we had our freaking quarterback in there, I don't think the refs would have been an obstacle in that game, unless the game was down the wire by 3 points or something like that. But other than that, I think we could have overcame that had we had our real offense running.
Yeah, you know, their defense is really, really good. The fact that they took our quarterback out, you still can't overlook that. They're so good that they got our quarterbacks hurt. But their offense really didn't do much against us. Their offense didn't really move the ball. Their top receivers were not very successful against Lenore and Mooney, and they were only running a 3.3 yards per carry. So even the rush was not that good. Now they're going to be facing a team like the Chiefs. They can put a lot of points. Yes, you do have a team that can put pressure, but if anybody can get away from that pressure, it's Patrick Mahomes and give that ball out. You're going to have to keep up on the scoreboard. And I don't know if the Eagles can do that. I just don't know if they can keep up with the Chiefs. And I'm not sitting here just bashing on the Eagles because we lost. People may say watching this podcast, oh, 9-6 is just bitter that his team lost. Yeah, it bothers me that we lost. But I'm not saying this based because we lost to the Eagles. I'm basing this on knowledge of football and looking at these rosters and these two teams playing each other. Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the ball and try to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. And I just don't see it, bro. He only threw for 121 yards against us, no touchdowns. That's not going to cut it against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. What's up, Niner Tone?
And let me say what's up to Niner Tone, man. This guy is like a brother to me and him and his dad. I've known since the Candlestick days. We tailgated there and had amazing times back there. Shout out to you and your family. 49er Tony says, we still here, brother. Still hurting on how everything went down. Some unfortunate injuries, and it just feels like we have the worst luck when it comes to injuries in games like this. Bro, I mean, I was talking to my friend a few hours after the game. I sent him a text and I said something like, is there any other team in the league that has faced the adversity that we faced and the downfalls and the heartbreaks that we faced in big time playoff games more so than us? And the only answer he could come up with was the Buffalo Bills. That was it. Yeah. and that's a close argument. It's a tough argument, I'd say. But definitely in recent years, we fucking take the cake, dude. Oh my God, from the Harbaugh era till now. Oh my God, you could go as far as back to the fucking Steve Young era when they had Garrison Hurst break his fucking leg in the NFC Championship game.
Atlanta, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like games like that, jeez, man, it's terrible, man. But and you know what? I was at that 49ers game when they played the Seattle Seahawks when Trey Lance went down, and you know me on this channel, how much I talked about Trey Lance, how much everybody was talking about Trey Lance, how excited we were to finally see him designated as the number one quarterback. And then I'm at the game. I planned to go to this game 2 months in advance, and boom, I'm there early in the game. Boom, he's gone. He's done. Immediately, my head went down. I felt like I was at a funeral. We won, but I walked out of that stadium thinking I just left a funeral, or feeling like I just left a funeral. So that exact feeling was replicated. So the second week of the season basically felt exactly the same way I did for that game as I did in the NFC Championship game. Once Purdy went down, my head was down. Boom. Again, I explained earlier, there's no way in hell I could have done a podcast that day. Not that because I'm the person that yells and cusses and breaks everything in the house. It's just that I had no energy to fucking turn my camera on and talk to people. If I did a podcast that day, you guys would fucking turn the shit off right away and be like, this is boring as shit because all this guy's doing is mumbling. He's not even looking into the camera. But, you know, hey, I'm here. I'm able to talk good today, so I'm good. But I felt the same feeling when Lance went down and when Purdy went down as I did when Lance went down. You know, Purdy did amazing things for us this season that were unprecedented, unexpected. And now it's really unfortunate that Purdy's out and may have to have surgery, because my ideal situation, as much as I love Trey Lance and want him to be the starter, want him to be this amazing quarterback, my ideal situation was for Trey Lance and Brock Purdy to be there in camp, mano y mano, and duke it out. And let's see who's the best man. Let the best man win, because whoever the best man is, that makes our organization, our franchise, an amazing team, man. And I was really excited for that. But we may not even see that. We may bring in some fucking, I don't know, a fucking 46-year-old Tom Brady or something. Who knows what's going to happen now? It's all
he's going to the Raiders, bro.
Melissa's here. What's up, Melissa? I see you. She says Beto and Bash, LFG. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, let's effing go.
You think Brady's going to the Raiders?
Oh yeah, I got a feeling that he's going to go to the Raiders, bro. Josh McDaniels,
I feel sorry for him.
He needs to win in Las Vegas, bro. He needs to get wins, and the ties are just go way too deep. And then Mark Davis he has been speaking every chance he gets about how much he wants freaking number 12 there. And it's funny because Raider fans don't want him.
Oh man, that's gonna be too funny. Where's Derek Carr gonna go then? Where do you think he goes?
Derek Carr, I think he will make a good fit with the Colts. I think going to the Colts would be a good fit, in my opinion. The Titans will be another good spot for Derek Carr. Even the Saints would be a good spot for Derek Carr, excuse me. I don't think Derek Carr is as bad as people think he is. I just think under Josh McDaniels, it was just trash. And we'll see where he goes, man. But it'll be interesting. I just want a quick note, man. Congratulate the freaking Denver Broncos for hiring Mr. Sean over the Cardinals.
Sean Payton, right?
Sean Payton went.
That's a great hire.
To the Broncos, and here the Cardinals thought that they were getting him, and right at the 11th hour, here comes the Broncos and takes him away. I love it, bro. The Cardinals are still without a freaking coach.
Good. The Cardinals don't need shit. Cardinals can have let them keep Kingsbury. Or did they already fire him? They already fired him, right?
They fired him a long time ago. Yeah.
I was hoping and praying that he'd stay there forever. Oh man, what up, 49 Tone? He says, "I think Brady comes here if we are interested. I don't see him going to Vegas. They have zero defense. Great point. If Brady wants to keep playing, then it's going to be a contending team. I
don't want him, bro.
Yeah, I just don't like Brady. I know." Sure, if Brady was on our team, there is a chance. Hey, if Brady played in that playoff game, guess we win it. But here's the thing with Brady, though, on the Bucs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I had this one guy yelling and screaming to me. He was all mad when I told him Brady should hang it up and he shouldn't play anymore. Some guy in the chat, just sick right here. What up, dude? He says, does Brady gamble his legacy? See, I'm at the point right now where I'm one of those fans that say, hey, when Brady won that Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, he should have hung it up and ended his legacy on a perfect note. Hey, guess what, Bill Belichick? People say I only won those rings because of you and you're cheating. Guess what? I walked away from you, and I still won.
His first year with Tampa, I won a championship.
Yes, sir. And he won. He won without Bill Belichick, and he could have hung it up on a perfect note. And now he decides to stay, and he pisses off his wife and his family. Like, come on, guy.
Yeah, him losing his wife already messed up his legacy. Because you're right. You leave the Patriots. You go to Tampa Bay, and the first year there you win a Super Bowl. Talk about leaving after that Super Bowl win and knowing that you have 7 Super Bowls, 6 with the Patriots, 1 with Tampa in your first year. It was you, not Belichick. That was the time to go, but he got greedy. And he wanted more, and it backfired.
Let me see what's up to a guy I haven't seen in a long, long time. Bob Money's in the house. He says he wants to get 10 man. Can't blame the man's hunger. I'm not sure what he means. Do you get what he means by that? Oh, to get 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Our girl Mariah's in the house. What's up, Mariah?
What up, Mariah in Las Vegas, out of all places. Says, hey, homies, good to have you here. I'd love to have you back on the show. I'd love to do a show with her and TL on with me.
I just did she had me on her channel like a few days ago, and it was fun, man. It was really had fun.
Well, it's always fun with Mariah. And she's check out this is her channel. Her channel name is 49 Faithfully Podcast. If you want to drop the link in the chat, go ahead, Mariah. And they do a lot of fun giveaways, and they got a lot of cool shows on there. Her and TL are guests. TTL's the co-host basically, and she has a lot of cool guests that she brings on. If TL's not able to make it, I've been on there before. It's been a lot of fun. So it's a great show. Check it out. And let's see if I love it when Fortnite Tone comments. He's like, I know. He says, "Hey, if Brady comes here and wins us number 6, we'd all love him." Hey, man, I can argue against that. But seriously, he can be an option because Purdy probably does. He says Purdy won't be available until 2024. Trey is still a question mark. I love Trey Lance. I do want him to get a fair, full shot at the starting position, but. I'll be honest, if Trey Lance is just hanging there alone by himself right now, and if it's just a rookie quarterback backing up, I don't want that. I want Trey Lance to be pushed in some way, shape, or form. And I thought Brock Purdy would have been the perfect guy to push him with all the success that Purdy has. And now we're not even going to see that because Purdy's going to be. Some people were saying that he might be available in training camp. Some people are saying 2024. We don't know what is going on with the Purdy situation. We don't know how good or bad Trey Lance really is. I love Trey Lance. I have all the confidence in him, but at the same time, I still want to see him get pushed and challenged. I think he'll be his best player when he has that challenge in front of him.
Yeah, I personally think Brock will be back by training camp. I think this will be a 6-month situation. We'll see what happens, but I'm not ready to give up on Trey Lance, bro. And if let's be honest, if you bring Tom Brady here to the Niners for a year or two, you're just slowing down the development of Trey Lance. And at some point, you're going to have to either pay him or move on from him. And you really don't know what you have in him to make that decision. And the longer you keep him on the shelf, this guy needs reps. That's what he lacks in reps. And so, yes, you can win a championship with Tom Brady, possibly. But the guy's 46. He's a statue. He doesn't move. And the way quarterbacks have been getting hurt under Kyle, Tom Brady can just probably get killed in the first game. And now we don't have him. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
That reminds me because I was going to break this down. Before I do, let me say what's up to Damian Lee, not the guy who used to play for the Warriors. He says, "What's up, Niner Faithful? Cool dude." Steve Supremo's here. He says, "I finally called in, popped my cherry. I'm not sure what your show you called in on, but I'm good to know. Hey, congratulations."
Pop your cherry, though. That's what he says.
Bob Money, I agree. But our window is closing. We do have a very young roster, but when we lost that game, I just mentally I felt like the window was closing too. I like, damn man, like how many times are we going to get to NFC Championship game? Well, it's like it's such an unfortunate fucking thing that happened. That just people get hurt in football. The game of football is a violent sport, but I would have never have imagined that going into that game, and it sucks. None of us did, But back to Brady. So a lot of I remember I was going back to this earlier, and I cut myself off. I remember I was just saying that Brady should have hung it up, and why is he still playing? What does he have to prove? And one guy I know kept getting all mad. Brady can play whatever he wants. He doesn't have to prove anything. He just has to play for himself. Blah 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 blah. And now, well, Brady. Look at Brady. Look what he's doing. I mean, he's kind of like forcing himself out there, and you could tell that they're not going to win anything with him at Tampa Bay anymore. He had that one shot, and then they're done. And he's like, no, that's because he had no offensive line. Brady had no time to throw. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Brady had played behind an offensive line that gave up the least sacks in the NFL. No team, no offensive line in the league gave up less sacks than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had 22 sacks in a 17 fucking game season. You put Brock Purdy back there or any other quarterback with legs, you're not going to see him act the way Brady did behind that line. And if Brady played behind our fucking offensive line, he would have been in a fucking casket, dude. Yeah. Like you said earlier, how our quarterbacks get hurt. I don't know, but again, Brady will have a running game if he were to come here. I get that part. The running game does slow down the pass rush, so to speak. That's what I was hoping would happen in the fucking Philly game, and with our fucking luck. And let me say fucking this. Can I fucking get this shit out of the way? This shit's been pissing me the fuck off. Oh, Kyle Shanahan's fault. The Brock Purdy got hurt. Do you know how many fucking seconds Brock Purdy had to fucking throw on that play? Thanks to Rohan Chakravarthi from 49ers Web Zone. He broke that whole fucking play down. I wish I could fucking break it down the way he does, because he's like a walking encyclopedia, like a fucking talking football computer when it comes to this shit. Because he's on top of his shit, and I love the kid. Very, very smart individual. I'm fucking dropping my F-bombs today, Mariah. These are my fucking F-bombs. Hope you fucking like them. Hope you fucking love them. These are my fucking F-bombs. Fuck that shit. On that fucking play, Brock Purdy had 3.47 fucking seconds to fucking throw the ball. How is that fucking Kyle Shanahan's fault that he got hurt? Kyle Shanahan's not on the field blocking pass rushers, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. He's not. It's not his fault that, and people want to blame that we had a third string tight end, but he's done that before. And he's blocked well. That's why they call that play. He just freaking Croft blew it. And you got Hassan Reddick, who's a freaking beast. He's just too quick. It's just, it's just a freak of thing. People want to blame the coach. It's just
I've never seen a coach get more blame than this motherfucker. For fuck's sake, dude. For a successful ass coach like this to get the blame he gets, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Let's fucking hire Chip Kelly and Tom Sula and Dennis Erickson and those fucktards and put them here and see how fucking happy you'll be as fucking 49ers fans, you sick fucks.
Tell them, bro. Tell them.
Man, I'm sick of this fucking bullshit.
Wannabe fans.
And these are the same fuckers that wouldn't even get a fucking Pop Warner coaching job, let alone a fucking high school or junior college or fucking NCAA or fucking NFL job. Get your heads out of your fucking asses, you dumb pieces of shits.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny how they want to blame Kyle for that. Kyle had nothing to do with that. Kyle gets the team to the NFC Championship with a freaking third string quarterback, 7th round pick from week 13 on. Doesn't lose a game with him, and yet fire Kyle Shanahan. Or the one that really got me, bro, is Brock Purdy's a pussy because he didn't want to come back in.
Oh my gosh, dude. From former really NFL players. Fucking who's that fucker? Reggie Bush, that piece of shit that played for us? Yeah. I used to like him. That fucker fell on his fucking ass on like roller skates and fucking Jack Murphy. What fucking stadium was that shitty St. Louis Lambs piece of shit stadium? I can't
stand him now.
What the fuck is he talking shit about Purdy for getting fucking injured, dude? Him and a few other fucking former NFL players on Twitter, dude. Who the fuck are those guys, man?
Those are players that are drinking too much and should not go out on social media on their feelings when they're drunk. At the end of the day, bro, I bet you they're wasted. They're having fun, loaded, whatever. And they go to social media and make a remark like that and just make themselves look stupider than they already are by making a claim like that.
Oh my gosh, dude. This shit is... I'm sober, by the way. I'm sober as fuck right now.
Making a comment like that.
I don't know what these fucking former NFL players are fucking thinking, dude.
If anybody should defend him, will be him because he's an ex-player.
Oh my gosh. And how could you Purdy, we've seen him all year. He's got like a fighter's mentality. Like Purdy does not have elite physical abilities. He does move around really, really well, which I really love, but he definitely does not have an elite arm. He lacks certain things. His body type isn't elite, but his mentality, Purdy's mentality, I fucking love Trey Lance, but if there's one fucking thing that I could grab from Purdy's fucking attributes is his fucking brain and his mentality. Purdy has an elite brain. He's got a fighter's fucking mentality. How in the fuck are former NFL players fucking doubting this guy and saying he's a pussy and he should be out there and why isn't he throwing and all this dumb shit? They go, who the fuck are they to talk shit like that? I know they play in the league, but get the fuck out of here, dude.
The fact that he had to come back because and pass the ball with one hand because he couldn't throw hand off the ball because he couldn't pass and finish the game out there, putting himself at risk, tells you how much heart this kid has. Because he didn't want CMC throwing the ball, so he went out there with one damn arm and finished the game. And people are going to sit there and question his ability to be a wuss. I mean, these are just wannabe fans that are very emotional and they get offended real easy and they want to blame the coach or they want to blame Purdy, and neither one of them deserve the blame in that game. It was just one of those damn games where it sucked all the way around, but there's really no blame to give. It's just bizarre. Brock got hurt. Right.
And the ironic thing is, I didn't cuss like this. I wasn't this furious. I didn't cuss as much during the game as I am now. That's the ironic thing about this whole fucking thing.
Out.
It obviously is. And let's say what's up. Let me say what's up to my homie from all the way in Rochester,
Aaron.
New York, who I collab with every Monday. Beto collabs with him every Monday. Is 49ers First Takes. Great guy. I'm surprised you're awake because I know you're an early bird over in New York, but we appreciate you watching. Says it's all clickbait to call out Shanahan, no talent, piece of shit. Oh man, gosh. Let's see. 49er Tone says all these F-bombs. But Aaron, I don't know if you saw it, man. I dropped probably I probably dropped more F-bombs in the history of 49er content creating or any NFL content creating just now. He says all these F-bombs by Bashar. I can't imagine how many Bashar is going to use if Jimmy G comes back. Oh, I'll drop she's man. I do not want that. You guys don't want that day to come. I don't want that day to come. And if I came, yeah, man, that happened. She's man.
Let me ask you a question. You said earlier that when Trey Lance went down, you just felt like the world pretty much ended. And then when Brock Purdy went down, you kind of had that same feeling.
A very
what
similar
was your
feeling.
thought process when Jimmy went down?
I was like, I've seen it happen before. This has happened multiple times to Jimmy. I expected it, and I was like, okay, let's see what this Purdy kid could do. But I literally felt like, let's see what this Purdy kid could do. And
but
initially,
it didn't
Purdy
hurt as much, though, did it?
It didn't hurt at all. It did not hurt at all. I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to bullshit. Not 1 ounce of hurt came went in my head. I was like, oh damn, that sucks for him. Let's see this Purdy kid. Let's see what he can do. And the first few plays, I was like, oh damn, man, and that's kind of rough. And they threw the kitchen sink at him. I was like, okay, well, I guess this isn't going to look too good from here on out. But let's just watch the rest of the game and see what the fuck happens. So yeah, hey, you know what, man? Let me do this. So right now, 12-game win streak. How many starts did how many of those were from Purdy? Was it 7? Was it 7
He had 7 starts and 8 wins.
So 8, yeah. So and the Purdy, not the Purdy game, the Dolphins game was almost like a start. I mean, he came in, but let's anyway.
After the first series, because Jimmy literally got hurt in the first series of that game.
Too bad we could have fucking cloned his ass, man. Oh my gosh, jeez, man. Josh Johnson out of all fucking people oh my.
Can you imagine Brock Purdy's mentality and brain between the years and Trey Lance's body?
That's what I was saying. If he could just get that attribute from him. Oh my, if he could just, I don't know, man.
And he
I
still
love
have
Trey,
it.
man, but
we
still.
don't know that. That's just the thing. We don't know what we have in Trey.
And G-Rod, what up, G-Rod? I saw you in the chat earlier, but I forgot to shout
What's
you
up,
out.
G-Rod?
He said, this is why I do bash
fishing, because it's so therapeutic after this, man. Yep.
I haven't fished since I was in junior high, man. My brother, God rest his soul, my brother loved fishing. I went with him a couple times.
I fish a lot, bro. I love fishing.
I was never into it.
Have you ever fly fish?
I'm not going to argue with him, though. That is some really, really calm shit. It was fishing. That's a non-stressful activity. I'll tell you that.
No, just get high and fish.
Oh my! I never tried that actually, but
yeah,
I have.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't gotten high before.
One time I was fishing with no fishing wire.
How'd you do that?
I was so high that I was keep throwing the line into the water, but I had no line. So every time I put the worm on the hook, it would just drop to the floor. I had like 12. Yeah, bro.
Are you good at fishing?
Oh, I love fishing. I fish every year.
Over the Delta, I'm assuming, since you're
I've
near
been
that
to
area.
The Delta. I love the Delta. I go to San Luis Reservoir. I go down south, and I like. Have you ever? I did it once, marlin fishing, when you have to tie yourself to the boat and to the strap yourself, because that damn fish comes up so high up in there, it can take you right into the water.
Okay.
Fly fishing is what I want to. I've never done. I want to do.
Yeah, look at G-Rod, man. You open up the can of worms, no pun intended, with this whole fishing discussion.
No pun. That's a good one, bro.
Hey, you gotta be witty. I don't know how I'm doing it. He says, I fish in the Delta. I said 96 knows what's up with up to sick. Lake McClure. Okay, that's what he said. I was back to Purdy, and I'm gonna give Purdy a little tribute in just a second, but that's where I was going with. But I want to rewind a little bit. It really sucks, I was talking to my friends, and we've all kind of talked this like. People say Jimmy wins games. You guys don't appreciate him. He won games. You guys don't appreciate him. We'd be 2-15 if Jimmy G never was our starting quarterback. Yada yada yada. I heard the same old song and dance. God knows how many fucking times. All right, But what did Jimmy ever do for us in the playoffs? That was always my argument. And don't give me that NFC Championship game bullshit against the Green Bay Packers when he handed the ball off God knows how many times. Even in the fucking Vikings game right before that, Tevin Coleman was fucking running the ball up their ass the whole fucking game pretty much. So, I just wanted to see us with a quarterback. We're averaging 34 damn points a game with fucking Purdy as our starting quarterback. I wanted to see what that would finally fucking look like in a playoff game, especially against a team that mattered and route to the Super Bowl. And we didn't get to see it. The league didn't get to see it. Nobody got to see it. Oh, well, back to more fishing talk. Here we go. Joey Mahoney says Delta is good. Lake Del Val is good. The Bay, I troll for strippers.
I love Lake Del Val.
I troll for strippers, trout, and salmon. Okay. I didn't know that you fished. I didn't know that at all. Yeah, G-Rob brought up fishing, so we kind of brought it up. So let me do this. So Brock Purdy, was it? Jeez, man. 7 wins in a
strippers? Stripers.
Yeah, okay. It looked like he wrote strippers. He typed strippers. I don't even.
I think he meant
I'm not a fishing expert.
Stripers.
I'm not a fishing expert, so I didn't know what the fuck he meant by strippers. So it was stripers. Okay. And for the record, you heard an F-bomb, and if you're just tuning in right now, you heard a barrage of fucking F-bombs. You should have used that earlier. I typed it in the fucking private chat. Feel free to use some fucking sound effects and some fucking funny voices, and here you are using the fucking bleep
on your show. I'm not going to sit there and do it.
No, I gave you the fucking green light in the fucking private chats to do your sound effects, man.
I read it afterwards.
All right. We're having fun here, guys. All right. Exactly. We're crying, we're yelling, we're screaming, we're fucking laughing, we're doing whatever the fuck we want to. Let me just say this. Brock Purdy, so let me rewind a little bit, because when Jimmy G pretty much got injured in the 2020 season, and I didn't like it, his play was dropping off a bit in the 2020 season. A lot of people were speculating what's going to go on with Jimmy G, and Steve Young himself on KBR pretty much said after the game that we lost Jimmy G against the Seahawks. He says he thinks the 49ers are probably going to go in a different direction. Expect them to move on from him. Doesn't seem like they could continue with him as a quarterback or depend on him if he's going to be getting hurt. Blah, 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 blah. So that planted something in my brain and among many other Niner fans that I know to say, hey, looks like we're probably going to have to move on from the guy. We're probably going to have to draft a quarterback, blah, 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 fucking blah. So lo and behold, people were talking about quarterbacks. Brock Purdy's name was thrown into the mix. At the time, I was actually looking up Brock Purdy, saw some of his live games on TV, looked up him on YouTube, and I thought he was interesting because he had some, not saying he's Russell Wilson, but he had some Russell Wilson type abilities to escape the pass rush. And I liked that. I never saw him in college wow anybody with his arm. I wasn't seeing explosive plays or anything, but at least with my own eyes, I didn't necessarily see those. But I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a guy we could get. But he didn't come out that year. And then fast forward a few months later, when the season's over, we make that miraculous trade, for Trey Lance. And I thought we were either going to get Lance or Fields, and we ended up getting Lance. So I was on the Trey Lance train, obviously, like everybody else. And then lo and behold, here comes Brock Purdy this season due to injuries, unfortunate injury to Trey Lance. And fucking, if there's one thing I could pin the blame on Kyle Shanahan, and I was on my Kyle Shanahan rant earlier, the one thing I could really, really fucking blame, if you're going to blame any of these injuries, blame any injury you want. The one that actually stands out and makes sense is the Trey Lance one, because he had this brilliant idea of running Trey Lance like Jerome Bettis, and he's a fucking quarterback. He's not Jerome Bettis. All right. So I'm pretty sure Kyle has realized his mistake on that one. It's not going to make the same mistake twice on that one. So whatever. Brock Purdy plays. Again, I mentioned it. 7 starts in a row. Fucking is amazing. Amazing 7-game win streak. The last start, of course, was just some fluky bullshit. I wouldn't even count that as a loss for him because he wasn't even fucking throwing. He couldn't even fucking play or throw like a real quarterback. But salute to Brock Purdy. Awesome season for you. The whole league respects you. I don't give a fuck what those foreign players say about you or those dumb idiots on Twitter say about you. Their opinions don't matter. Anybody who really knows football respects you, salutes you. I'm sure all the 49er alumni respects you, and anybody who's a 49er fan should respect you. So for Brock Purdy, I'm going to say this. Cause you smell what the Brock is cooking. All right, so that was for Brock Purdy. Any thoughts, Beto?
I like it, man. All I can say is, if you want to hear more freaking F-bombs, make sure to donate to Bashard's Vilmo. Give this guy some money and let him throw those effing bombs, baby.
that
Oh
is
my
quite the promo. Donate to the F Bomb Fund. Here we go. F bombs aren't for free. I mean, they cost money. What up, Andy Land 27? I see you, bro. A good buddy of mine says, raise a glass to Brock. Yes, did a great. Drink some Ciroc for Brock. Do whatever you got to do. What up, David McNiner? I see you. He says, what's David McNiner saying? He's saying, Joey Mahoney, what's good? 49 Tone says, Bashar, Kyle ran pretty like that in the Cowboys game, right up the middle early in the game. He ain't learned his lesson. You know what? When that happened, everybody either said something on Facebook Messenger or typed a Facebook post about it. Or do it again. Can I hear what?
Okay, I guess you can't hear it.
I couldn't hear it, whatever you were trying to do. But funny point, though, 49 Tone. That is pretty funny. Yeah, he did try it once with Brock. I saw that. And good thing Brock is just great at eluding the pass rush. Obviously, he didn't see whatever that jackass's name on Philadelphia numbers. Reddick, Hassan Reddick. Probably didn't see him coming. We ran that play God knows how many times during the regular season, and the quarterback didn't get smashed when it happened. And when you face those, I was worried about that game because of the amazing pass rush that the Eagles had, 70 sacks for the regular season, which is third all time in NFL history. And I know people said that they got a lot of those sacks and clumps against weaker teams, but then again, teams throw their top pass rushers. They don't throw their top pass rushers against Trent Williams. They know that Trent Williams is gonna fucking do work. So guess where those top pass rushers? Guess what side those top pass rushers are going to? Lined up towards who? Mike fucking McGlinchey. What do you think about Mike McGlinchey on the 49ers, Beto? Any thoughts about him? And would you sign him? He's a free agent. And Beto, he's in soundboard mode. Sorry if I caught you off guard.
No, it's okay. Would I sign Mike McGlinchey? Listen, I know a lot of people don't like him. I'm not really a big fan of him. But I got to look at the tackles that are there. They can replace him. Who do we have? I don't want freaking what's his name? McKivitz to replace him. McKivitz is worse than Mike McGlinchey, but I'm not going to overpay for him. And the thing about it is a lot of teams are going to come after him. They're going to want to get money. They're going to give money to him for his services, and I just don't think the Niners are going to try to match that. So I think the Niners are going to go in a different direction, whether they have some already in-house or they're going to try to draft someone, hopefully with one of those third picks to replace McGlinchey. But I want to keep him for the right price, but I'm not going to overpay and compete with other teams. He's not that good.
And at one point earlier in Mike McGlinchey's career, he was an elite run blocker, probably for best in the league or second best in the league, something like that. He's not that guy anymore when it comes to run blocking. We could definitely find somebody who could run block just as good as him, and definitely easily find somebody who can pass block better than him, because his pass block, he gets pancaked and he doesn't know how to anchor down. It's like, if you're going to be 6'8", but your 6'8" body's stretched out, and you don't have, and it's, if you're 300 pounds and it's 6'8", but you're 6'8" and it's all stretched out, you're gonna have no leverage. It's you gotta be built lower to the ground in that case. And if you look at fucking Lane Johnson, the way he's built, and like, oh my gosh, why don't we have a fucking right tackle built like that, dude? And you mentioned McKivitz. Let me go back really quick, because Rohan had tweeted this yesterday. Rohan Chakravarti, shout out to him. He said, interesting thought from Matt Miyoko. He believes that Mike McGlinchey does not return and that the 49ers are grooming Colton McKivitz to start, which seems like the likeliest option. I'm sorry. No. How about this? Fuck no. Look, if McKivitz is the fucking option, then he should have fucking started this year if he's better than Mike McGlinchey. Guess what? If he's not better, then he wasn't fucking starting. So we're gonna put somebody who is inferior to Mike McGlinchey as our fucking starting right tackle? Hell to the fuck no. We're not fucking doing that. Don't be fucking lazy, 49ers. Your scouting department has to scout the living daylights out of who's coming out in this fucking draft at left tackle, right tackle, guard, whoever in offensive line. If you have to switch them to right tackle, do whatever you have to do. or sign whatever free agents out there and get better at that fucking position. Don't do that lazy half-ass bullshit. That's some complacent ass bullshit that doesn't win you fucking Super Bowls. That doesn't win you championships. Other teams go balls out to improve at weaknesses on their fucking squad. We need to do the fucking same.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. So, hey, I just, since we're freestyling here, I just want to get your thoughts. I'm moving on a little bit on the departure of Demeco Ryans. Congratulating him for taking the position at the Texans, where he first got drafted. He has family and ties there, and they gave him a 6-year contract. So he definitely learned that from what the Niners gave Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. So he's getting a 6-year contract. It looks like they're really going to try to build that team around him. They got a lot of capital due to the trade for the quarterback they traded, and also money against the cap. So I want to get your thoughts. Did he land in the right place, or do you think he should have waited and went somewhere else?
You're talking about Demeco?
Demeco, yes.
Dude, I mean, honestly, when you were going on and on about all these moves that they made, right around that time, somebody was messaging me on Twitter. So it's kind of multitasking and typing back. So some of those details I missed. But I think part of why he went there was just that he has whatever people want to complain about the Texans organization. I obviously didn't follow the Texans thoroughly enough to know if somebody was racist or not, or if some shady shit went down. I didn't follow them on that level to agree yes or no on that. Honestly, I did. If you want to say that he should have went there because they're a racist organization, you're more than welcome to think that. I don't have the knowledge of that to make that opinion. I don't, because I didn't care for what went down in Houston Texans. But I'll say this: he obviously has some love, still has some love and affiliation with Houston, because I believe he still has a home there, and he played there, and he was a great player for them. And I'm sure there's plenty of people in the organization that he still has connections and ties to. As far as a great situation for him in football speaking, I don't know. I think he has a lot of hard work ahead of him. It's not going to be easy. What do you think are some positives of that job? Really quick, go ahead. I mean,
the fact that they have all that draft capital.
Okay, the draft capital. What picks do they have?
They got all Denver's picks, and Denver's not Denver. Excuse me. The Browns picks, and so they have capital there. I don't exactly know where they're at, but I do know they're about $37.8 million under the cap. So they definitely have money to go after some free agents. They can definitely move up and get, or I believe they're in second or third place, right as it is, or second place. They can definitely get the quarterback of the future. And the fact that they gave him 6 years means that they're committing to him. And I don't know if they're racist, but they've been hard on black coaches there. They haven't been fair. Flores, and then they didn't give him not Flores. Lovie Smith and other coaches that have been there. Now they're hiring Demeco Ryans, a black coach. So I hope that things do go well for him. Demeco's a smart man. I'm pretty sure he weighed everything out. I'm pretty sure he looked at this and with a fine comb and said, okay, what are my advantages? What are my disadvantages? And if he chose to go there, like you said, he has a home there, always had a home there. That's where he got drafted when he came out of college. So I wish him the best. Now he's looking at taking our passing coordinator, and he's going after Kasarik really strong. He wants to take Kasarik with him over to the Texans. So yeah. I don't know about that, taking Chris Kasarik, bro.
No, hell, that would piss me the fuck off if we lost Chris Kasarik.
And Chris Kasarik is from Texas.
Yeah, Kasarik's. I'm surprised. I don't know what. I gotta research Kasarik a bit. First of all, the guy is huge. He looks like he's played defensive line. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he didn't play in the NFL, but he must have played somewhere. But I'm surprised he didn't play in the NFL, because if there's any coach I've ever seen who's a complete ball of fire, which is perfect for the defensive mentality, especially on the D line, it's him. Like when I see his intensity, Well, you probably saw my intensity earlier when I was cussing, but I mean, his intensity is just through the roof, dude. It is just, I was like, damn, I wish I was that fired and pumped up when I played football. And sure, we'd all get pumped up and fired up when you play football, but his is just like elite superstar, like fucking intensity, and it rubs off on the players. And he's a great coach for it. Itchy95 said he played for the Detroit Lions, I believe. Yeah, I want to research him. I forgot if he played tonight. He looks like he played. He's a big dude. What up? 49 Toad says Demeco got a 6-year deal. He'll be there guaranteed 3 years. Texans are in the same position we were when we were hiring Kyle. We had to offer 6 years. So for the record, he brought the draft picks. I have them in front of me. It's the Texans have the second pick overall in the first round. Then they have the 12th pick overall from Cleveland. That's pretty badass. So yeah, they better make use of these picks, otherwise they're gonna look really stupid. In the second round, they have the 33rd pick overall, which is still good. They have 2 third rounders, a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, 6th rounder, and the rest are all 6 rounders, and they have 11 picks total. So I wish we had those type of picks. But for us though, I do like the fact, even though we don't have a first rounder,
but we have a good roster. They don't.
We have a really, really strong roster, which means that when you draft depth, bro. When we draft 11 players, I mean, how many of those players are really going to make the team?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now, sure, you want all those guys to be studs that you draft, but that never happens. But again, the smart thing about with the Niners is if you don't have the first round picks, you don't have to pay those players first round type money, and it helps the salary cap with those lower round picks. So,
yeah, and I'm hoping that. Now that Demeco is going there, I know that there's been talks about Wilkes, interviewing Wilkes.
Vic Fangio right here. We're in talks with him from what I hear.
Yeah, and Fangio. And what I love about Fangio, the name he likes to call the Fangio shell, he likes to do a lot of cover 6s, combo coverages, and the cover 4s is designated strong side when the cover 2 on the weak side. I love how he plays that and how he always keeps a safety deep. When he does the cover 2 and always keeps that safety deep. And I love the formations that Fangio brings forward. Let me ask you, what are one of his formations that he brings to the table defensively that you like? Because he brings a lot, like I said, the cover 2, the cover 4. He has the quarters. He does all these formations based on what the offense is giving. What are one of his formations that you really like from Vic Fangio, Bashar?
I'm not one who sits there and dissects defensive formations like the same way you do or other people do. I really don't. All I remember is that when we had Fangio, similar to the way our defense is now was with Saleh and Demeco, that defense was fucking successful. I mean, and I did like the fact that I saw Stanford do it a lot, even after Fangio left. And this is one thing I loved about Fangio's scheme in general. Was more so how we were doing stuff, the D line. Where I forgot what it was called. Not when they swim into each other. What's that thing called when they run stunts? When they run D-line stunts. We saw a lot with Justin Smith and Aldon Smith. I mean, we do it sometimes with Bosa and stuff. I feel like we don't do it enough. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just felt like when we ran those stunts under Fangio, it was extremely successful, and I loved that.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about Fangio is one of his key features is his defense, is how everything looks similar before the pre-snap. Both safeties align deep. Usually one or both corners play off the line of scrimmage. So it looks like you cover 4 or across the board, or is it a cover 6, making it difficult for quarterbacks to identify coverages. And the way he confuses quarterbacks, figuring out the coverage before pre-snap informs quarterbacks where they should go first and how to process the reads that they're making of the coverage of the defense. And the way he disguises his defense, quarterbacks, even like the Patrick Mahomes, because they asked Aaron Rodgers, I believe. They asked, was it Patrick Mahomes? And they asked like 3 quarterbacks that are really good. And they asked, what is one of those coordinators out there that disguises a lot of their coverages? And all 3 of them said with no hesitation that it was Vic Fangio's defense. There's very confusion because quarterbacks right off the pre-snap, they don't know what the real call is. Is it a cover 6? Is it a cover 4? You know what I mean? Because it looks like a cover 6, but then their safety drops and then becomes a cover 2. And so it confuses the crap out of quarterbacks. And so I personally want Fangio to be the next coordinator of the Niners. You saw what he did under Harbaugh, how good our defense was. Then, of course, we have Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. But hey, we have Greenlaw and Fred Warner. So I can, and then him being the coordinator, it almost guarantees we will go after another pass rusher up front to combination with Nick Bosa. But I love the way he disguises his coverages. Wilkes is similar, but nothing like Vanjo's coverages, man. He likes to do a lot of safety deep robber, what they call a deep safety robber. And it's fun to watch, man. I love watching his defense. When he was with the Bears, the way he set up his formations were beautiful. When he was with the Niners under Harbaugh, I love what he did. I'm not a big fan of the 4-3. No. What is it? The 3-4. I am more fan of
Fangio was running the 3-4 when we had him.
He likes to run a lot of the 3-4. But we don't have that nose tackle that you need. Yeah. He's going to hog. You know what I mean? So I think he would continue to run, but I wouldn't be surprised if he changes it down the line, if he becomes a coordinator. So out of him and Wilkes, and I believe there's another one, who would you rather have? And this question could be also for all your viewers.
I mean, out of familiarity, just by default, Fangio. But I didn't study Wilkes and follow him like everybody else did. But Itchy95 says Fangio and Wilkes are both being interviewed from what I hear. Vic can adapt to the wide 9 and the 4-3 we've been running. And my only hang up on Fangio was a few months ago, and even last year I was saying it, if he were the option to come back, because there was always this little Vic Fangio rumor circling around. It was always there, just people would just bring it up. And then when Fangio was showing up at the 49ers facility in the training camps and the ops and mini camps and stuff like that, it became something that was tangible. But my only fear was that, oh my gosh, are we going to switch to the 3-4? Bosa's not going to be an outside linebacker. We don't have a pure nose tackle. Why would we do that? But then what changed my mind was I raised the question to John Chapman. Shout out to John Chapman, 49ers Rush podcast. And he was basically saying that towards the end of his tenure with the Denver Broncos, that he was running a lot of 4-3, Vic Fangio, that is. And Shanahan kind of lays out the blueprint of the defense. A lot of people don't know that, and that's why that's part of the reason why every defensive coordinator that we cycled has been successful. And obviously then the defensive coordinator comes in and throws his mix on it. So I'm assuming Fangio, if he comes in, we're not going to run him for 3-4. But you know what? You mentioned nose tackle. Dude, I want a big, fat, mama jamma fucking nose tackle. Give me one fucking guy that's fatter than me and you combined and have him plug in a fucking D tackle on first and second down when need be. Please, can we get a guy like that? I'm tired of having all of our D tackles look the same. They're all the same size. They're all like 295 pounds soaking wet, 285 pounds soaking wet.
Because they want speed more than size. I want size for a change.
At least one guy.
Yeah.
And let me see what's up to some guys who got here a little bit later. And Itchy95 says Chapman is correct about that. Okay, thank you for confirming that. What up, Dan? How you doing? All the way to 209 says, what a great season, guys. What up? It sucks the way things went down Sunday and we couldn't get to the Super Bowl, but we will be a top team for many years to come. The 6th ring will come soon. Let me say a prayer. Not mocking religion, nothing. I truly am praying for this team, and God willing, it happens when we're all alive and kicking, and sooner more so than later. It's tough when you're so close on the unthinkable worst case possible scenario that you never envisioned happening, that nobody envisions happening, happens. It's exactly what we went through. But you know what they say? It's a great season, and in most cases, if you're not a 49er fan, if you're not from the 49er pedigree, you can say, hey, great season. We ripped off 12 wins. Who does that on their 4th quarterback?
That's right.
Whatever. I mean, and that is an accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment. But being a 49er fan, and in terms of the 49er culture, Bill Walsh, Eddie DeBartolo, especially I think it was Eddie DeBartolo that said that. If you're not winning the Super Bowl, it's a failed season. And I literally, and a lot of 40, shout out to my boy Nick for Nothing But Niners. Seeing you, I'm hanging out in Philly on your video. Love you, man. You're like a brother to me. He says it all the time, man. If we're not winning the Super Bowl, it's a failed season. And I used to not want to have that mentality, like, well, that's kind of harsh. But at the end of the day, it kind of is like that, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm not going to deny that. When coming short is failed season, but in the same token, I want to be competitive year in and year out. A lot of people are like, why? We've gone in Kyle Shanahan's tenure. We have gone to 3 NFC Championship games and 1 Super Bowl appearance. We have come short, but we have gotten there. And a lot of people say, well, I'm sick and tired of getting there and not making it forward. Of course, that's natural, but I'd rather be competitive. Name me a team that look at the Detroit Lions having gotten there. The Jets haven't gotten there. You got the Browns that haven't gotten there. You got all these teams that the Cowboys, they're going on their 28th year not making it to the NFC Championship game. We've been in 3 of them in the last 5 years. So it's being competitive as a fan. I like to be competitive. Now, because a lot of the younger fans nowadays haven't experienced a Super Bowl win. See, I'm a little bit spoiled. I got to see 5. I got to see the Steve Young kissing the Lombardi and Jerry Rice shaking his hands after winning. I saw the Joe Montana's speeches. I understand that these young fans nowadays, they want to see that same thing. So I know that making it to the playoffs and making it to the championship is not enough. And I respect that. But I also want my team to be competitive each year. I want them to be double-digit wins. Look at the Rams. They won their Super Bowl. And what were they this year? 4-12? That's not competitive to me.
They're geared up for one season. They threw all their eggs in one basket.
And they blame it on injuries. We were on our freaking 3rd quarterback.
Nobody was more injured than us.
Exactly, but we still win games. Why? Because we built a team correctly. We built depth around our starters, not like the Rams where they put all the chips in the middle, and if they hit, they hit. But what happens when they start getting injuries at key positions? They falter the way they falter this year, and then they expose themselves being the same old what? Sorry ass Rams.
Same old sorry ass Rams.
Same old sorry ass Rams.
Let me say what's up to a new guy in the chat. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button. I don't recognize your chat name. It says Palo Alto Niner. Because I'm not mad about the season. Proud of the Niners. We adapted and overcame the community. The community thrived. We should be proud. Yeah, there are definitely things you can you hold your head up high for. I totally agree that. Mr. Joe, welcome to the channel. Says this guy's pretty hardcore. He's a Niner fan. What do Kyle and Harbaugh have in common? They both choke hard in big games. Oh well, that's just pretty hard right there. Pretty extreme. Steve Supremo says I choke hard in my bed. Not a bad thing. What the heck?
You know what? I'll say this. I'll say this to Mr. Joe. You can't choke if you don't get there. I see a lot of teams that haven't choked. Why? Because they never sniff the NFC Championship game. So
yeah, so we married the hottest chick in the world 5 times, right?
Yep.
But now you can say we've gotten divorced because we're no longer Super Bowl championships. But we took the hottest girl, to the prom, a whole number of times after that, NFC Championship games, that is. So we just didn't tie the knot just yet. So we just got to tie the knot next time when it happens. Well, not 49er Tone says, I agree, Niner sickness, but one thing I loved when our team was trash, the 2-14 and 4-12 years, our tickets and parking was dirt cheap. Yeah. Classic tailgates during the bad. You know what? That's when I met
in there, 49er Tone.
When I met 49er Tone was during the Mike Nolan / Mike Singletary era. And yes, tickets were super cheap back then. Everything was cheap. Great tailgates. Just the camaraderie was still, that's what I loved about the Niner fan base. Even when we're down in the dumps, we still have an amazing fan base and a lot of fun hanging out and chilling together and supporting our team. We're not just Johnny come latelys that just show up. Hey, we won 12 games in a row. Woohoo! We're Niner fans all of a sudden. Nope. We were Niner fans back when we sucked ass. And if we were to ever suck ass again in the future, we'll still be Niner fans. Dan says, with a serious injury to Purdy's throwing arm, should we go after an elite starter and have him as a backup? We brought this up earlier, but if you want to answer that, go ahead, Beto.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
With a serious injury to Purdy's throwing arm, should we go after an elite starter and have him as a backup?
Knowing that Trey Lance most likely will be the starter, I would like to bring an experienced quarterback, not someone like Tom Brady, but bring in someone like maybe Baker Mayfield from the Rams. Bring someone like that. They can compete to that caliber of a backup. Or there's a couple of quarterbacks out there that are going to be available that are good. But this definitely is going to be a competition between Brock Purdy once he heals up and Trey Lance. And that's who I expect to be one of our quarterbacks. Let me ask you this question, Bashar. I'm going to mention a name. Tell me if you know who it is. Pete McCooley.
No idea. Is he some rookie quarterback prospect?
Nope. He was your San Francisco 49ers head coach.
Oh, are you doing your little trivia shit on me now? You're doing your reverse trivia on me?
No, I'm just bringing a point out. In 1978, he was our head coach.
Okay.
I'm going to bring you another trivia.
I know where you're going with this.
I'm going to give you a trivia. Now I'm going to give you trivia. You know who was our running back in 1978?
I know we had O.J. Simpson for a minute. Probably, yeah. Now I know this, that before we hired Bill Walsh, Eddie DeBartolo, I believe, went through 3 coaches.
Yeah, well, I
think it was 3 coaches.
We fired him mid-season, and then we hired interim coach Fred O'Connor, and then he got fired. And then in '79 is when we brought in Bill Walsh, and we all know the history of that. Coaching tree. But my point that I wanted to bring, the reason I brought this name up is because prior to Bill Walsh, we had a bunch of nobodies. And you say what you will about Harbaugh or Kyle Shanahan. Name me, I can name you a bunch of coaches that we had between Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan that I guarantee you, Bashar, you or me or anyone in this chat would not want to have back. You don't want to have the Jim Tunsulas. You don't want the Derek Ericksons. Yeah,
Nolan,
bro. So
Mike Nolan.
I know that a lot of people say that Kyle chokes. He's a choke artist, but I don't know. Tell me another coach that on the Niners they have done better than Kyle, getting to 1 Super Bowl appearance and 3 NFC Championship games in this time. And he took over a team that he had to restructure and rebuild it from the ground up when he came in 2018 or 17. So what he's done has been remarkable. He hasn't got over the hill, and that's coming, bro. It's really coming. That Super Bowl title, it's coming. I know we're frustrated. I know we want it today. We want a microwave dinner instead of a home cooked meal, and we're tired. But it's coming. I would not trade Kyle for any freaking coach other than Sean Payton.
Yeah. Let me just and you mentioned Pete McCulley. So Pete McCulley was the coach that our head coach right before Bill Walsh was hired. Right before him was Ken Meyer, and then we had Monty Clark before that. So all 3 of these names totally escaped my mind when you brought up the I remember we cycled through 3 coaches. I do that. I just didn't know the names. But right before that was Dick Nolan. That's the name I do remember. We actually did have success with Dick Nolan in the 70s, Mike Nolan's father. And that was when John Brody was the quarterback. We got swept by the Cowboys literally 3 times in a row. We had a 3-peat on the sweep versus the Cowboys back then. And then, later we moved on to Bill Walsh, and we all know what happened there.
People always remember the Cowboys and Niners in the 80s and 90s, but they forget the Cowboys pretty much owned the Niners in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. And that was before my time, actually. It was the early 70s, actually. Early 70s.
Before my time as well.
Yeah. Well, I got you.
Yeah. Remember, I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s. And so, you know what I mean? So 60s, no.
Yep. So we got, what up, Becky? I see Becky here. She says, but it's really difficult to build a team from the ground up. Yeah. We did that at one point. When Kyle and John took over, we were down in the dumps with that Chip Kelly bullshit. We had to run
every player. They only kept 2 players, bro. They kept Joe Staley, and they kept that tight end. I forgot his brother used to play for the Eagles.
Oh, the Selleck time.
Selleck time. They're the only 2 players from the Harbaugh regime.
Garrett Selleck. His brother was a better player.
And Garrett Selleck, bro. And everyone else was brought in, and Kyle Shanahan took us in the second year of being healthy to the Super Bowl.
And then the Chip Kelly year, actually, we brought up one. I remember we brought back another player was Rashard Robinson, and I thought they were like, "Oh, this guy's a really good rookie cornerback," and then he jumps to the Kyle Shanahan era, and then we just get rid of him because he didn't want to be coached or anything like that. And then he went to the New York Jets, and he did nothing.
Nope.
Exactly. Oh man. Let's see. Joey says someone that can help Trey Lance and would be a good backup and mentor would be Marcus Mariota. I would totally welcome that. I don't know. Is he available as a free agent though? Is Mariota available?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to be a backup, but he's not going back to Atlanta. The way he kind of punked Atlanta and just didn't want to play and decided to have the surgery. Atlanta's not keeping him, so he's going to definitely get cut. So he could be a possibility.
Yeah, that would be a really, really nice solid backup for Lance as a good insurance policy. I totally welcome that. And we lost to the guy, actually, believe it or not, this season. I wasn't expecting that, and it happened. So, yeah, I'd welcome that. Why not?
Well, we lost because we couldn't stop the run.
Yeah, that was just one of those weak trap games, so to speak. Okay, so Palo Alto Niner says Shanahan and Lynch have been a blessing.
Yes.
Let's see. 49er Tone says Harbaugh rebuilt that defense. Didn't we have eight new starters on defense from 2010 to 2011? Not sure we did. I know that in Harbaugh's first year, though, I do remember though there were a lot of players that carried over that were still pretty good from the Singletary era in general for the whole team.
Harbaugh took over a way better team than Kyle Shanahan did.
I thought Harbaugh's team was just more ready in terms of we didn't have to go all out and do crazy free agent signings.
We went to the NFC Championship in the first year that Harbaugh took over.
Mm-hmm. We sure
That's
did.
because the other idiots couldn't do it. The talent was there, they just couldn't coach.
Oh my god! And I was so pissed about that year because I thought it was so cool that we picked up that one wide receiver. Why am I forgetting his name? He used to play for the Cleveland Browns.
Edwards.
Braylon Edwards. We have Braylon Edwards. Harbaugh had actually played with Braylon Edwards' father over at the University of Michigan, so there was that connection. And then lo and behold, later in the season, I guess Braylon Edwards and Harbaugh got into it. There was some sort of rift. Yeah. And next thing you know, Braylon Edwards is fucking cut before the season even fucking ends.
Yeah.
And then we pick up some no name like Brett Swain or some garbage ass. Like we had no plan. If you're gonna get rid of Braylon Edwards, like have a plan. Bring in somebody who a good veteran. Like don't bring me some no name Brett Swain. And then in the fucking NFC Championship game, which I was at, the Kyle Williams game, Crabtree laid an egg that game, and then Ted Ginn wasn't healthy. And here we are playing Delaney Walker at wide receiver, and it sucked. I mean, the only guy Alex Smith really had a connection with the whole game was Vernon Davis, and that was it. But yeah, Harbaugh had his little thing where he did the same with Brandon Jacobs. I remember we signed Brandon Jacobs for the New York Giants. Brandon Jacobs actually grew up a 49er fan. He was telling the local media he was so happy to be a 49er and all that crap. And then Harbaugh got into it with Brandon Jacobs, and then they parted ways. And it was just kind of funny how that happened with Harbaugh from time to time. Harbaugh's kind of a hothead, and if it's either his way or nobody else's way, and that's pretty much it. Yep. So yeah, we diverged a little bit. Let's see what's going on in the chat. So let's see who's Melissa talking about. She said, I can never forget Tone. He abandoned us in 2017 and ended up with their worst record on the Raiders. I'm not sure who she's talking about there. I guess they had some little discussion. Oh, Navarro Bowman. It was about Navarro. Oh my God.
Navarro Bowman, yeah.
Oh, but you know what pissed me off about the Navarro Bowman thing? Because I believe the first game that Navarro Bowman came back, his first game with the Raiders, and they were in the locker room and they're like, "Hey, Navarro, how's it feel to be an Oakland Raider?" This is back when they were still in Oakland. He's like, "Oh, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time." It's like, "Oh my God, did you really just say that?" Yeah. And then lo and behold, years later, Navarro Bowman, 30 pounds lighter, comes back to the 49ers and wants to retire a Niner and say that he's a 49er before he officially quote unquote retires. So
all I do remember about Navarro Bowman is that pick six at the stick against Atlanta to get us into the playoffs, bro.
That was awesome, man. I wish I went to that game. I was at the San Jose Matrix Casino when that game.
Yeah, I was there, bro. It was, oh my goodness. That stadium was electrifying.
I don't know.
I was a season ticket holder there. I just didn't. It was too much money when it became to Levi, so I never. They gave me the opportunity to buy season tickets, which I did at one time, but then I gave it up. It's just too much money there, man.
Tone has a point. We're talking back to Bowman. He says he wanted out and we did him a favor. I love Bowman too. I do like that about the organization, how we are for the player in that regard. It just sucks seeing him go to the Raiders because, especially for the Bay Area, that 49ers
It's like Jerry Rice and Jerry Rice, Roger
yeah,
Craig,
Ronnie
Lott. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand why they did it though, because it's local.
They got to, it was, it's a highway, just cross the bridge.
They didn't have to
there.
move. Yeah.
But it's like not that I want Raider players on our team. Sure, I'd welcome Josh Jacobs. I'll take him, or Max Crosby, sure. But it's like the Raiders at points in times in their careers as fans have enjoyed a great 49er greatness on their team and have benefited from it. Like we've never once benefited from any of their players, but at the same time, for the most part, we pretty much breed our own players.
Yeah, and I want to agree with 49er Tone. That was an interesting game when we went to Atlanta and we had to come back from behind and Bowman knocked over. That was actually interference that we got away with Bowman. But
you think that was pass interference? It was kind of borderline. It was borderline.
They could have called it either way, but the way referees, the fact that they let it go was, hey, I'm not arguing. It was for our benefit.
Let it go. I can't hit that note. Okay, you can hit that note with your fucking sound effects.
I know. No, I can't.
Can you do it?
No,
please,
I can't.
Man. Come on,
you
man.
probably can hit it with my sound effects.
I don't have your sound effects. I only have my echo, and my sound effects suck. You have a really good soundboard for that. 49 Tone, great one. You mentioned Charlie Gardner. Oh my gosh, Charlie Gardner was so good on the Niners, and then we just got rid of him and let him go to the fucking Raiders. Oh my gosh.
I really like Charlie Gardner. He was amazing. Bashar, I want to ask you a question. Who is your favorite 49er ever to put on a uniform?
Well, you put me on the spot.
And you can
Jerry
only
Rice.
Name one.
Jerry Rice. I just have to say Jerry Rice because more. And not just because he's the greatest of all time or anything like that, but this is why I say Jerry Rice. I obviously love and appreciate what he did for us as a player, but he's the only player that stands out in my head right now or over the past God knows how many years who I'm like, and I'm not a big guy who says like if they hold functions to say, oh, hey, go to the Henry J. Kaiser Convention Center. Steve Young's going to be there to sign autographs or Joe Montana is going to be there to fucking sign autographs. And you can pay how much money you want to sign those autographs to meet those players or whatever. None of that matters to me. And I love those players, but I don't pay money. I don't go out of my way to meet players. But if I do have an opportunity to meet Jerry Rice, I've been telling some of my friends who meet a lot of players, I got to be Jerry Rice. I have to meet Jerry Rice. So got to get a picture with him, do something. And so he's got to be my all-time Niner. And maybe one day it will happen. Itchy 95 mentions Ronnie Lott. I did meet Ronnie Lott, great player. He signed something for me. I talked to him for a minute. Very extremely nice guy. I didn't take a picture with him because this is before these nice little smartphones existed. But it was definitely a nice experience.
One of my favorite players is always going to be Bubba Paris. I told you the story of Bubba Paris. Coming to visit me at the hospital, man. I ran into him one time, took pictures with him at Walmart. He still does Walmart signings. And when I suffered my injury, my wife went into the Walmart to get some stuff. And she went up to him and told him my situation. He remembered. He tells my wife, what hospitals he had, what room, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to pay him a visit. My wife told me that she told him that. I'm like, well, okay, yeah, he's not going to come, but it's a nice gesture that he asked, right? And a day later, who comes to my room? Bubba Paris, and hangs and kicks it with me for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
And we just talk football. For me, from that standpoint, the dude's amazing. I love the guy. I have nothing but respect. He came and hanged out with me for an hour and a half. Just chopped it up, bro. That's of his own time. Great guy, man. Great heart.
Wow, I never had an experience like that for a player.
Keep in mind, it took me being paralyzed from my waist down, but nevertheless, he didn't have to show up though. Who am I? He didn't know me.
And your story is an awesome story, by the way. How you overcame all that. That's definitely a miracle. I always forget about that you were paralyzed and all that. And you tell me
10 years, bro.
Each and every time you remind me, I'm like, wow, it really opens my eyes. What up, Kelts Chronicles? I see you, bro. Says yee. What up, fellas? For the record, I was talking to Beto last night. And he was telling me that he went live with Kelts Chronicles. Check out Kelts Chronicles YouTube channel. So when Kelts Chronicles went live after the game on Sunday, shout out to you, Kelts. I don't know how you did. I was explaining earlier that there was no way I was going to go live on Sunday because I was deflated. I had no energy. If I went live, my head would have been down. I would have probably been mumbling the whole time. Nobody would have watched the stream. It would have been the most unentertaining stream to ever watch in the history of 49er Minded. So therefore, that was my excuse. But you guys did it. Kelts Chronicles went on there and was by himself for a good 45 minutes maybe, and he was calling himself a DICK because he said he was acting like one, and his name's Richard, by the way, so that's part of it. But and Counts was not in a happy-go-lucky mood, and I don't blame him. And then Niner Sickness Podcast Beto joined him along the way, and I watched the whole thing last night, by the way, just to let you guys know I watched the whole thing.
Oh wow,
I enjoyed it. So yeah, that was good. Somebody go ahead.
Had a little bit of church then watching us.
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys were preaching, man. I felt like grabbing my Bible.
We kind of got away from football.
Nothing wrong with that. Definitely wasn't church here with all the F-bombs I dropped earlier. For those of you when the show's over, or do it now or whatever, man. If you're a big fan of F-bombs, go ahead and rewind. If you're not, do not hit that rewind function. So fair warning. Bubba, if you got kids, definitely don't have them watch that.
No.
Oh, there's a little Homer Simpson there.
Watch it like this all through the whole part.
Oh, I don't know why you didn't hit that button earlier.
Yeah,
my God. You should have totally
Well, no, I didn't forget. It's just I thought it's your chat, and I should have read your comment first, and then I would have done it. But I'm like, it's your chat. Who am I going to sit here and come in your chat and tell you what you can or can do, bro? I was not going to disrespect.
I thought it made it more fun. Yeah, I gave a message in the private chat way before I went on my cussing.
Hey, bro, we can always redo it again, bro.
I told him in the private chat, hey, feel free to use your sound effects and funny voices for the show. I guess he didn't read my message until later.
No, after that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of comments in here. Go ahead.
Sorry that I missed it. Please forgive me. If you don't, I will grab you from your balls and I will take you straight to the pit of hell.
Oh, that last part was really scary. Oh, I was trying to read these comments, and here you are making me laugh. Oh, here we go. So Mr. Joe says, best 49ers free agent signing is Fred Dean.
Yeah.
This pass rush got us 2 Super Bowls. That's a great signing. I think the McCaffrey, even though we didn't win the Super Bowl, I think we really had a great shot at it. Minus that stupid Purdy crap that happened, but McCaffrey was an amazing acquisition. Oh my gosh. I'm going to rant about him, but he's talking about Fred. Mr. Joe, by the way, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit subscribe. All the new viewers out there, only 50% of my viewers, according to my YouTube analytics, are actually subscribed to my channel. So maybe they might just hit 49er Minded, type it up in the search to watch it whenever, or click on whatever links I post on social media. But actually, if you subscribe, it makes more sense, and you can hit the bell notification twice. Make sure that bell turns black, and that will alert your phone, your YouTube app, each and every time I go live. And your phone's not gonna blow up like crazy at the because I go live like twice a week, so at least you'll get the notification that I'm live and direct. Couch Chronicle says, I met Bubba at Walmart. We're talking about Bubba Paris. My stepmom traded Bubba Paris a bucket of chicken for an autograph. Damn. Was it Popeyes? Was it KFC? Was it crispy crunchy chicken?
One thing about Bubba, he loves to eat. I remember there was a Mexican girl selling burritos in the parking lot, and he bought a burrito and it did not hit him right. He closed shop immediately after eating that burrito because he got the runs. He's like, damn. Yeah, bro. I saw the whole process. He's like, he was doing autographs, and next thing you know, you have that feeling like you feel the bubbles kind of going in your stomach. The next thing you know, he's like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. He just left the table. And poor guy, man, that burrito did not. But he loves to eat. So when Rich says that his mom traded him a bucket of chicken, oh yeah, he definitely would do something like that for an autograph.
Bubba got the bubbles from eating a burrito and a bucket of chicken. So there you go, a little alliteration for you guys.
I don't think it was a burrito. I think it was a chili in the burrito that got him messed up.
Okay. Dan Castillo says Bubba Paris was always at the Manteca Walmart signing autographs back in days. Yeah, I heard he was. My brother met Bubba at a Walmart once in Southern California, and I heard he did a lot of those things. So I guess he's making good money. I guess they gave him a good contract. 49er Tone says, love Justin Smith, our best free agent signing besides Deion. So we got Deion Sanders. It was great, but he was a one-hitter quitter. But hey, we got that ring, right? People keep talking about, oh, I
if it
don't
was a
care for
great
this. I don't care
signing.
for that because we didn't get the ring. Well, hey, we got the ring, but he left, right? So we got the ring.
And then it's not only that he left, it's where he went to, bro.
Oh, I know. Jerry's World, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. He went to the Cowboys. Colt says it was Church's Chicken that it was given.
I was wrong. I said Popeye's KFC. I threw in Crispy Crunchy Chicken, but Crispy Crunchy Chicken is not as known, but it's bomb. I highly recommend Crispy Crunchy Chicken, guys. They don't pay me. I'm not a sponsor. Check them out. You will not regret it. And people talk about Raising Cane's chicken tenders are so bomb and they're so good. And oh man, get the sauce at Raising Cane's. Fuck that. Get the fucking tenders at Crispy Crunchy Chicken and then come back to me. You don't need any sauce. You don't need any sauce for their fucking tenders.
There's one just down the street from me, bro. And remember I told you
you better
buy what I was looking for. I was looking for a big ass, like Pollo Loco type of restaurant. It's a gas station inside the gas station where it's at. But I got to definitely check it out and try it, bro. Because I keep hearing you talk about it.
Hey, I talk about it for a very good reason. Hey, I didn't get like this because I don't know. I just woke up one day and I looked like this. It took years of hard work.
He's a professional.
Right. Exactly, and my taste buds don't lie. Let's just say that. So.
Hey, have you acknowledged Itchy 95 in your chat? I don't know if you have.
I did. I said what's up to him. I think I've seen him before. If you're new, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, he's always in my
subscribe.
channel.
Oh, okay. He's from. Okay. I knew that name was familiar from somewhere. He said I could not even get mad Sunday. It was just sad. Yeah, I was deflated. I was just deflated. I was more mad on this podcast than I was on Sunday, but I was definitely deflated and let down.
Mr. Joe says Pioneer Chicken. You know the chicken that I like is Popeyes. I love that.
Pioneer's Chicken. That's going way back in the day. I believe there's only two. There's one standalone Pioneer's Chicken. I researched the fuck out of these things, by the way. That's why I'm on top of my shit. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I got millions of hobbies out there aside from the 49ers. Pioneer's Chicken. There's a video about Pioneer's Chicken. When I grew up in Sacramento, when I was a little kid, there was always Pioneer's Chicken commercials, and I probably had it like 2 or 3 times, but I just don't remember it. I don't remember it being bad, and I remember it being popular, that's for sure. But there's actually a Pioneer's Chicken location in Southern California. You could look it up on YouTube, where this guy who goes to the last remaining Pioneer's Chicken standalone location. I think there's maybe a second one too. But Pioneer's Chicken was really popular in the 80s, man. That's good that he brought that up.
It was everywhere. A Church and Chicken is not that much popular down here.
It's so hard to find. I can't speak on Church's Chicken because the closest one to me is like 45 minutes away, and they're all like they just take forever to get to. They're never nearby where I live.
Yeah, they used to be all over the place. They just not anymore. So that's weird.
And I did give a fair warning before our show started that when Beto and I collab, we definitely get into our hardcore Niner talk and our hardcore football talk, but we'll venture off and go off topic and talk food, music, movies, comedy, and everything under the sun. So if that scares you, putting out the disclaimer
or bothers you, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't think so, bro. I think everybody in your chat is pretty diverse, bro. I think they're pretty chilling on a what is it, Tuesday night? They're all cool.
Yeah, what were we saying about Tuesday night?
So they're all everybody in your chat are pretty diverse and fun and enjoying your channel tonight on the Tuesday night. So I don't think they are too worried whether we go freestyle or not.
Because the chat's going up
Kenneth
on a Tuesday.
Goldsmith is in the house. He says Chip Kelly. Oh, don't mention.
Oh, well, Chip Kelly. Oh, you said the C word.
Yeah, Chip Kelly, that dude.
You know, when we got him.
Once they figured him out, bro, he was done.
When we got him, I was like, okay, you know what? Thomas Lewis sucked. Chip Kelly's had some success in Philly. He's had amazing success at Oregon. He's a great football mind. Let's see what we do with him. And then when we get him, it just didn't. It was just terrible. It was a nightmare. Like our offense. Oh my gosh, we totally gassed out our defense because our stupid offense kept running tempo the whole fucking game. No huddle offense the whole fucking game, and we're not scoring points.
It's a nightmare, bro.
We're scoring points with the no huddle offense, and then the defense is literally on the field the whole game because they're just gassed. It's just terrible. Like,
and then the coordinator, the defensive coordinator, what was his name?
We had promoted somebody to become a defensive coordinator. Like all these weak. Who I know we had that one guy, Mangini. Wasn't Mangini the D coordinator that year?
No, was he?
Let me look
I
up
know he was on our offensive side.
the Kelly coaching staff. I'm curious. We had to, yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me just see. I'm looking this up because I actually forgot about a lot of this. I think I know who you're talking about, by the way, but his name escapes my mind. But
Yes.
it wasn't Mangini.
He was terrible, bro.
Yeah. You know what? They were so bad. The reason why I forgot all these guys is that they were just so terrible. Well, why would I want to remember their names?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why would I?
I think he came from Cincinnati.
Jim O'Neill. That it was that sorry ass piece of shit.
Yeah,
Jim
bro.
O'Neill.
Jim O'Neill. Yeah.
Offensive line coach Pat Flaherty, another sorry ass piece of shit. Defensive line Jerry Azenaro. I don't remember him, and for good reason. Inside linebackers coach Hardy Nickerson. I definitely remember him as a player. Not sure how well his coaching pedigree is, but at least it's a name that stands out because he was a very good player. Tom Rathman was our running backs coach. Okay. All right, I got the list in front of me. Jason Tarver, outside linebackers coach. He sucked. I remember him. He sucked. Yeah, I try my best not to remember those days.
We went through some hard times. That's what I'm saying. People that don't like Kyle right now, or we choke artists or whatever, just remember the years that we had under Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula. I knew he wasn't a scapegoat from the beginning. They hired him for a 1 year. But you know what, though? Even though he was a coach for just 1 year, they took care of him. They paid him coach money for 5 years. So they did him right. People say, "Oh, they did him wrong. They fired him." The dude went on and what did he get? Like $20 million for? I forgot what it was, but he got a lot of money for 1 year, bro. So they took care of him.
And for those that want to remind you who our coaches were under Chip Kelly, our D coordinator is right there. And yeah. Sorry for the reminder, but yeah, that was not a fun season. Thank God it was only one season, by the way. Thank the Lord for that.
Yeah, one year with him, 1 year with Jim Tomsula, and the right before Jim Tomsula, it was secretary, right?
No, Tom Sula. And then before Tom Sula, it was Harbaugh. Remember, it was the first season at Levi's.
Right.
2014
before
season.
Harbaugh, it was
and then before Harbaugh was Singletary, and then before that was Mike Nolan.
Mr. I dropped my pants down in the locker room.
That was against the Seahawks. That was against the Seahawks when Vernon Davis
I'm pretty sure he had a reason why he did what he did, bro. But I'm like,
remember when he kicked Vernon Davis out of the game against the Seahawks when we were getting our butts kicked? Yeah, we were getting our butts kicked that game. I was at Candlestick for that game. That game sucked, by the way. Actually, I wore this exact shirt at that game.
And he hasn't watched it.
I have a picture of me. I have a picture of me at Candlestick wearing this exact shirt for that shitty game that we lost at Candlestick. And it was Mike Singletary's first official coaching game, by the way. Just to let you know, because we had just got done and fired Mike Nolan. It took forever, but we finally did it. And yeah, man, Vernon Davis got that kick in the pants, and it worked for him. But yeah, he went to the locker room and took his pants down and, I want winners, and did that whole crazy speech. And Singletary was great for speeches, that's for sure. But,
he's a motivational.
What are you oohing about, Melissa? What do we do? What do we do?
He's probably talking about she's always getting mad because of the pants being dropped.
Oh, okay. Well, it happened. I mean, how else are we supposed to say it,
No. It's not that we're saying it. It's just the fact that he did it. I'm pretty sure that's what she's referring to. But Jim Harbaugh, the funniest part when he told Jed York, this locker room is just for men, not for little boys. I thought it was funny, bro. How are you gonna disrespect the owner like that?
Yeah. Harbaugh, man, that guy's. Who was it in the chat earlier that kept saying that Vic Fangio agreed to the Miami Dolphins? That was not true. I mean, these are my live Twitter feeds. If you want to,
I thought actually I was preaching that on one of my shows because
everybody thought it was real, but Fangio denied it. Though Fangio denied it. I mean, this is recent. 9:40. This is about 20 minutes ago on Twitter. Okay. Vic Fangio in play for the Broncos defensive coordinator position on Sean Payton's staff. Then there was another one that popped up. I'm gonna share my screen again just a second. He didn't accept that Miami job. Everybody swore by it, but there was nothing official about it. And then here's another one, DJ Khaled. There you go. Here's another one that says Vic Fangio is expected to speak with the 49ers about the D coordinator job. So it looks like we're in the mix with.
Yeah, he's not going to go to the Broncos and be a defensive coordinator there when he got fired as a head coach.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would he? He just left there. I mean, although this is a completely new ownership that took over, it's not the same owner
that fired Vanjo. It's a complete different. It's the Walmart brothers, the Walmart family that owns it now.
Waltons.
So it could be that, it's a whole new ownership. Maybe he goes back, possibly under. I mean, him and Payton. Oh my goodness, Sean Payton would be a good combination of offense and defense. But it could be that he goes back for that. If I'm pretty sure if it was been the same owner, he probably wouldn't. But we'll see. I think the best fit, and again, I'm not being biased because I'm a Niner fan, but I think going to the Niners is the best fit with that defense that we have.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm surprised Fangio's entertaining other opportunities. I seriously thought he wanted to come back to us right off the bat because, again, he was lurking around our facilities in the offseason last year.
He was.
Not too long ago, months ago. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not going through his head, but
I thought he signed with the Dolphins. People were asking
everybody
me
thought
yesterday.
They debunked it. They all debunked it.
Yeah, so the people were asking me, "Hey, Niners chicken, did he sign?" Oh yeah, he's not available no more. He's with the, and I apologize for those that watch my show. I ate of the pudding. I shouldn't have spoken out, and but I thought he accepted it, but I guess not.
Yeah,
in Miami.
Yeah. Remember I was talking about crispy crunchy chicken. We're let's go back to that really quick since Kelts brought up the bucket of chicken and says from Church's Chicken. And I remember one time I was going to have you try crispy crunchy chicken and you freaked out because you realized that the location by your house was running at a gas station. And on the West Coast, a good portion of their locations do run out of gas stations. They actually do have standalone locations, actually more so in other states in California, but I have seen couple of standalone locations out here in California as well. But they operate, put it this way, they're one of the fastest growing chains in the United States. A lot of people don't know that. They're an extremely fast growing chain. If you do see a gas station that sells crispy crunchy chicken, I don't get paid by them. I'm just saying, if you're a fan of fried chicken, give them a shot. Either get their regular fried chicken or their chicken tenders and come back to me and tell me what you think. And unlike Raising Cane's, where people say the sauce is what makes them amazing, and I don't even like Raising Cane's sauce, these tenders taste amazing without any sauce. So.
They just opened a brand new restaurant. It's called Raising Cane. I heard they just opened
we have it here in the Roseville, Sacramento area.
Yeah, they just opened it up about a month ago here in the Modesto area. I haven't eaten there yet, but I heard great reviews. But
it's, you know what, over in Roseville for possibly 6 months or even longer, when the new location opened here, the drive-through was more busy than the fucking In-N-Out burger drive-through.
Oh, talk about drive-throughs. Fish. What is that fish? Not fish and chips. What is the name of that fish place everybody loves? And what is it called? It's like a well-known fish fillet. I think it's called.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Fish. You never heard of Fish Fillet restaurant?
No.
Is it, or am I saying that wrong?
That's a pretty generic name. Are you talking about Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A. Sorry. I knew it was something like that. Anyway, that line was like 3 miles down.
They're always
3
busy.
miles.
Yeah.
And I finally went through it, bro. And I'm like, this is not what I thought it would be. I never had gone back.
Their chicken sandwiches are good. I like their chicken sandwiches.
What is it called again?
Chick-fil-A. I like their Chick-fil-A sandwich. I like their chicken sandwiches. What up, Click? Never seen you in here before, but Click Factor from the Twitter Spaces. Follow his Twitter. Follow him. He's always on those crazy spaces where people are always yelling and screaming at each other and talk about the 49ers and other NFL team fan members going at each other. Counts Chronicle says crispy crunchy chicken is bomb. Got one 5 minutes away. So you know what's up. I knew they had one out in Vallejo. I had a feeling you probably tried it. Definitely, yeah. It's when you try it, man, you're gonna come back, and the prices are great. You could get if you get fucking 16 a piece at fucking at KFC, for example, you're probably spending less at crispy crunchy chicken for like 20 or 25. I mean, it's a great deal in my opinion. They should fucking pay me. I hope they're fucking watching this.
What else do they sell? Do they sell like mashed potatoes and side?
They do, but don't buy them. Their mashed potatoes suck. I mean, it's kind of like KFC mashed potatoes. Okay, like they have the like Popeyes, because it's kind of like a Cajun theme. Like Popeyes, they have red beans and rice. Don't buy it. The red beans and rice at Popeyes is better. They have jambalaya. Don't buy it. Just get their chicken. Their chicken products are really fucking good. What up? 49er Tone again says we jump around from topic to topic. Again, we do it. It's something I do, which is how I talk in general. That's how I am. But I like to keep things fresh, so it works for me. He said, I seen on Pat McAfee's clip of his show the other day. He said, Fangio's significant other lives and works out here in San Francisco. Okay. That's a nice, really, really nugget. That's a strong nugget right there. I read someone say that too before I seen the clip. Okay, good to know. You know what's funny? Whenever I see Vic... when I saw Big Fajo the first time on our coaching staff in training camp, and you see him walking around with that hat, and he just has that distinguished look, especially more so back then than now. I just think of Robert De Niro in the movie The Fan, and it's like, oh, it's like his doppelganger, man. I think it's fucking hilarious. And I love Robert De Niro as an actor, by the way. He's just also a great actor. And you remember that movie The Fan, where he was a San Francisco Giants fan, and Wesley Snipes is playing a baseball player, which is loosely based on Barry Bonds, in my opinion.
My favorite movie with Robert De Niro is Heat.
I need to see that. I need to see that.
You never watch Heat with Al Pacino?
Is that the
Val
one?
Kilmer?
Is that the one where Al Pacino's like, she's got a great ass?
Yeah,
is that
the one?
I've seen that scene, God knows how many times.
Yeah, that's.
I get to watch. I get to watch the whole movie. I gotta say,
bro, you gotta love that movie. It's Val Kilmer, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. It's a great movie. You should watch it, bro. I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
You know what? I'm gonna look up on fucking Google right now. Where can I watch it? Heat movie. What platform it's on? Because if it's on something that I already have, I'll definitely take note of it to watch it. I might just have to buy it on YouTube or something.
I think you can watch it. I don't know.
On Amazon. Yeah, it looks like I have to pay for it, but I probably would. If it's worth it, I probably would just buy it. It's like $3.99 to rent it.
That movie, bro. I don't know. That's a freaking. You won't go wrong. Just like the way you're evident about your chicken. That's how I feel about the movie.
I was gonna, one more thing about the crispy crunchy chicken. I want to see. Okay, the very first time you buy it, I want you to go live. I don't have to collab with you. I'll be in the chat if you want. If you want me to collab with you, I can collab.
I'll bring you on. And I'll give you the truth about it.
Give you a live review of crispy crunchy chicken.
I tell you let's do
that shit this year. We're gonna do some.
I'm gonna go live, have you on there, and I'm gonna eat it live for the first time, and give you guys a live version of whether I like it or not.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live, bro.
Remember Bill O'Reilly, that leaked video?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, don't know the reference, just research Google, YouTube, or whatever. Bill O'Reilly, fuck it, we'll do it live, and that's all I need to say. Whoa, what are you a troll, dude? This Conor Maurice, I'd never seen this guy Conor Maurice before until
I seen him.
I saw him on your chat yesterday. I saw him on your chat yesterday. Niners need to trade Hufanga and Kinlaw. Like,
yeah, he was coming crazy in my show yesterday too.
Anymore, if he's saying like a Kinlaw, I don't like. I mean, not that I have anything against him as a person. But let's talk about Kinlaw, man. I mean, whoa, we draft. Okay, so we have Buckner. We lose Buckner as a free agent. You can say what you want. We should have kept him. We should have kept him. We should have kept him. He wanted too much money. Whatever it may be. Either way, at the end of the day, he was gone. But it seemed like because for the simple fact that he was gone, we did something that we shouldn't have done. I feel like we reached for Kinlaw for the simple fact that we lost Buckner.
Yeah, I agree. They did. They reached for Kinlaw, hopefully that he would replace Buckner. And what made the hurt worse, this Kinlaw to me is a bust. I don't think this guy's ever going to be good. I don't think that he can do anything going forward that is going to change my mind. He's injury prone, and he's just not a good. He was getting tossed, bro, on Sunday against the Eagles, and yeah, I'm ready to move on from him. Will they move on from him? Probably not, but hopefully they'll bring a starter. He'll just be a rotational backup, and then once his contract's up, they'll just not re-sign him. But yeah.
Mr. Joe, he says Grant Coe was right about Kinlaw. Yeah, interesting. What up, Kenny Goldsmith? I don't know if I shouted you out earlier, but good buddy of mine on Twitter, and he's called in on the show before when I do my call-ins.
He is an
I don't know if people want to do call-ins tonight, but I kind of like to just have us jive back and forth because we go off topic and do all this funny, crazy stuff.
That would be fun, though.
I'll definitely be doing my call-ins this off season, though. Don't worry about that. Huff, he said Huff. I said all pro. Yeah. Now, a lot of people thought I love Huff. I love Hufanga. That's all I know. Hufanga is one of my favorite new up-and-coming players. I kind of thought they went a little overboard for giving him an all-pro vote of selection, but I definitely think he's a Pro Bowl player. And, I think sky's the limit for Talanoa Hufanga. trained by a Hall of Famer, amazing Hall of Famer, and an amazing person, Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu is a great person, and they're both very spiritual and religious, and they're just two, and they're both from a similar ethnicity, and I think Troy Polamalu, not Troy Polamalu, Talanoa Hufanga fits the 49ers culture perfectly, in my opinion.
Yep. And real quick, congratulations to CMC for making a Pro Bowl. Taking over
he did.
For
He did. Okay.
Yeah, he took over for Sanders, Miles Sanders.
Oh, he did. Okay, cool. Yeah, he easily deserved that. CMC, we talked about earlier, just been one of the greatest acquisitions of 49er history. Had an excellent season. That run he had against the Eagles, bless his heart, man. He ran with so much fire on that play and ran straight through people. I didn't see it coming. I was like, whoa, damn, that little guy has got some strength to him.
Yeah, he has a lot of heart, and I can't wait to see him next year, a full year under Kyle Shanahan. This kid's going to be special, man.
And let me go back to Kinlaw, since we're talking about Kinlaw, but I jump around. I jump around for topics so damn much, dude. When I don't have notes on my screen and
jump around.
But Beto and I, we don't plan on being structured. Just to let you know, whenever you see us do any stream together, the whole idea of being structured goes completely out the window.
We are local.
Keep your eye on number 99 here, my full screen. Right now I am. Here's Javon Kinlaw for you. I hate to rag on players, but right there on the right side of the screen. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not even talking about him being drafted in the first round, wherever he was drafted. If he was drafted in the 7th round, I'd be critical. Like, why is this guy on the field? Why is he starting for us? I'm sorry, that does not cut it for me. That's unacceptable to get pushed, especially at his size, like at his build, and then he's so fierce in interview. We saw how much fire he had when he was talking shit to Grant Cohn. Like,
yeah, Grant Cohn, what is he? Soaking wet, about 180 pounds, 5'7".
That's Grant Cohn's body right there compared to Kinlaw, dude. It's like, oh man, dude. I don't know. I wanted Kinlaw to show improve this year too. I really did. I was like, oh man, fuck that. He's got all these doubters and haters and battling these injuries. Come on, man. We need you. We need you to do work for us, and it's going to make our team even better. And I don't know, like I'm not even just talking about this game. I'm talking like when he came. I forgot what game he came back this year. Well, I was surprised he came back in the first place, but when he came back, I was just noticing, like during certain points in times in games, I text my friends. Like this happened numerous times before the playoffs even started. But I literally text my friends, and I'd be like, have my phone out. Kinlaw is getting worked.
Yep.
The week after that, texting my friends. Kinlaw is getting worked. Week after that, Kinlaw is getting worked. Arizona Cardinals game, they scored a touchdown. Kinlaw is getting worked. The fucking playoffs against the Eagles. Kinlaw is getting worked. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't take it anymore. I don't know, man.
Jones had a smaller body frame, bro, and was more.
But he's thick.
More powerful. I'm telling you, we should have kept DJ Jones. Shoulda, coulda, woulda if we didn't, and got rid of this guy, man. And the sad thing is about his jersey too, like a moron.
You bought his jersey. Oh my condolences. My condolences. I was gonna buy some jerseys this year. When Trey Lance got hurt, honestly, when I was at the stadium, I left the game and I went home, and I was basically telling myself that I don't feel like spending a dime on this team for the rest of the season. That's how pissed off I was when Trey Lance got hurt. And I was, again, if you guys missed me in the beginning of the show, I was saying that when Trey Lance got hurt, I was at the stadium. I was deflated. All my energy was just taken away from me. My head was down. I felt like I was at a funeral. I didn't shed any tears, but everybody's cheering for the rest of the game and that we won and we beat the Seahawks. I felt like I was at a damn funeral. I couldn't cheer. And then fast forward to this NFC Championship game, Brock Purdy goes down. The same feeling of deflation. Like, I didn't want to talk to anybody. People were trying to talk to me. And I was almost at the point, like, I was going to yell and snap at somebody, say, hey, stop fucking talking to me. Stop asking me questions why I don't want to talk and why. And I just kept to myself. When I get really, really mad sometimes, or really, really depressed and sad, I'm just super, super quiet. And that's what happened to me both times. I had the same feeling. What up, Laura? She says she's late to the party. The party just started. You're not late for anything.
You're just on time.
No, you are late for the barrage of F-bombs that were dropped on this podcast. We're 1 hour, 48 minutes strong going into this, and I lost my shit just earlier. I ranting and raving about whatever happened this past weekend. So, if you like to hear F-bombs, and whether it makes you laugh or makes you cry or whatever it does, feel free to watch them later. So Click Factor, what's Click Factor saying? He says all of them on first drives of the game, while Lance was the second drive. I think he's talking about when Lance was used as a running back, kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sure what he was talking about there. Pat McAfee. Mr. Joe says Pat McAfee backed Kinlaw and was clowning Grant. Interesting. And then just gets to show you how Pat don't know nothing about our team. You know, at the time, I'll be honest. I mean, Grant Cohn has some very questionable media practices. I don't love or hate the guy. I've only had one conversation with Grant Cohn in my whole life because I called it on his show once. It was no big deal. Never had him on as a guest, but I'm sure why not? I wouldn't mind having him on as a guest. I've had plenty of other guests on. No big deal. And, you know, I'm really, really super cool with Jesse, his friend. Jesse and Grant Cohn go hand in hand. So, but Grant Cohn, I mean, a lot of people know this is no mystery. I'm not talking bad about the guy. He has some questionable practices when it comes to commenting on certain players. Maybe he's toned it down a little bit after the Kinlaw incident, but I guess word got around and, you know, things got heated in training camp when Kinlaw stepped up to him. And some people were saying that Kinlaw was in the right, that Grant Cohn had it coming, and it was just a big hot mess. And then it got to the point where Lynch and Shanahan sat down with Grant Cohn and Kinlaw, and they tried to squash it. And then supposedly on social media, Kinlaw typed up something or tweeted something like, "Oh, that meant nothing. I was just pretending." Like at the end of the day, like, what up, Crazy Juice? I see you, bro. Welcome back. He says Kinlaw just didn't pan out. I feel you on that. And whether you loved what Grant Cohn did, or were you for supporting him, or whether you hated what he did, if you're a 49er fan, either way, you want the best situation was for Kinlaw to succeed, but he's just not doing it. No, you're muted, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was truly nice. I love my lemon and ice. Yeah. You're absolutely right. There was somebody brought up a question that I wanted to bring up. X Factor says Pat McAfee was sharing on Grant because I think that's the one you read, huh, Rich? If
I read that earlier. Yeah, he was basically putting down Grant Cohn and pumping up Kinlaw. Sandy Martinez is here. She says, "Who's that? Is that your daughter?" She says,
"Yeah, that's my daughter." Yeah.
She says, "Hey, pops." I was going to ask you. It's like, "Welcome to the channel, Sandy." She came up in the conversation last night. By the way, I had a long talk with Beto about him and his things that he dealt with in his life, and he mentioned his kids to me. Beto's like a big brother to me, guys. I talk to Beto all the time. Great guy. Definitely subscribe to Niner Sickness Podcast if you're not subscribed already. And Sandy Martinez, welcome to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Everyone, go Niners. Yeah, I didn't know she was a diehard Niner fan. That's cool. She's a Niner fan like you are. Cool. Yeah, I know, right?
her husband isn't, but it's okay.
Okay, it's okay. Brian Cole, not everybody's perfect.
Her husband's she likes the Commanders. He likes the Commanders.
Oh wow, who likes the Commanders? Come on now, the Command. Well, hang on. Let me say the name in proper fashion. The Commanders. All right. I love messing with the name of that team. I think it's the dumbest name of an NFL franchise. Brian Cope is here. His name isn't dumb.
Commanders.
Brian Cope said Kinlaw has the size, but being healthy is an issue.
Yep.
Well, first Kinlaw used to have some presence. Now Kinlaw was never a great pass rusher in college. Never even a decent pass rusher with the 49ers. But Kinlaw, at least early on, used to have some type of presence in the run game. You know, he
lost that.
I don't even see that anymore. Now I see him getting, when I was saying Kinlaw's getting worked earlier, I was referring to him getting just getting hammered in the run game. And I don't see him. Now, you don't have to necessarily get the tackle in the run game to be effective, but you have to show some type of penetrations. You have to fight the double teams in some way, somehow make your mark when you're out there, but he's just not doing it anymore.
You know, I like what he says, and I totally agree with that, Rich.
Counts. Yep.
It can actually hurt you if you don't use it properly.
If you don't use leverage properly, size will never matter.
Nope.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Who knows? Maybe Kinlaw's going to hop in the chat and then ask for the link and start cussing me out and start threatening me and wanting to fight me or whatever. And hey,
let him hit you. We need money.
Bad press is good press, man. Maybe somebody would actually donate to that Venmo link that I got on the bottom.
Yeah.
Who knows? What up, Philly Sports Talk Podcast? What up, guys? Hey, he's a great guy right here. I collaborated with him on the Let's Talk Sports channel. It was kind of a funny situation how that all happened, but it happened. A really, really good dude, by the way. He's a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. He's a big fan of many other sports, and he talks about all kinds of sports on his channel. He's a really good dude, and again, I'm super mad that my team lost. We're all depressed as 49er fans, but you as a person, you're a really good person, and your team is the Philadelphia Eagles. So definitely congratulations to you. I'm not going to mention those other Philly fans I saw videos of that look like they came from the pit of hell, throwing beer cans and doing crazy stuff I've never seen. I thought Eagles fans. I thought Raiders fans were the bad fans, and I hate it all
they make
time.
Raider fans look like
Raider fans look like angels, like choir boys. Yep. I saw, and the videos I'm referring to from 95.7 The Game, Bonte Hill. Shout out to Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game, The Morning Roast. They put up some, they put up some crazy videos of them going to the Philadelphia Eagles game and the tailgates. Because I've never been out there. I've heard stories, but literally I see people just crazy. Like you see war zones where people throw rocks at army soldiers and cops. It was the same experience, but with beer cans. Like just Niner fans getting pegged with fucking beer cans. It was beyond belief. I was like, not knocking this guy though. This guy's a great guy, and there's a lot of other really, really cool, awesome Philadelphia Eagles fans, by the way. Just I do want to say that, and I'd love to go to Philly. I'd love to try a Philly cheesesteak. For me to try a Philly taco. If you don't know what a Philly taco is, you know what? I mentioned a Philly taco the other day. And the Eagles fans on my chat were like, you don't know what you're talking about. A Philly taco does not exist. There's no such thing as a Philly taco. I'm like, what? What? If you're a fucking foodie, you know what a fucking Philly taco is.
Yeah, my brother-in-law lives in Philadelphia, and yeah, he talks about that all the time.
So explain. Tell him what a Philly taco is.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
You know, I've
never been there. My brother-in-law, if he was here, he'll tell you exactly what it is. I'm not.
Okay. You know, I could probably demonstrate in a video what a Philly taco is. Okay, a Philly taco, basically what it is you get a Philly cheesesteak, right? You get a Philly cheesesteak, and you get in Philadelphia. It's not New York, but they still have New York style pizzas out there. Get a big slice of a New York pizza, and you take that Philly cheesesteak and you wrap that Philly cheesesteak up in that slice of New York pizza. I never had it, but according to Nick from Nothing But Niners, when I mentioned it to him, he's from South Jersey, which is right by Philly. I was like, "Have you ever had a Philly taco before?" He's like, "Oh hell yeah, those are slamming." And other people will tell me the same thing. So one of these days I gotta try it. I was thinking about doing it. I was like, you know what, if we won the game, I would have ran off to Jersey Mike's, bought a Philly cheesesteak, and ran off to what's it called? In Roseville, we have a place, New York Slice, place called Celestino's. I actually make better pizza than they do, but they make okay New York pizza. If you live in Roseville, that's the best New York pizza option. Otherwise, there's a couple other places in Sacramento, but get a slice of and from what I understand, this Philly taco thing, and you have to go to two separate places to do it, because unless you find a place that has really good New York slice pizza and really good cheesesteaks in one, then you can just buy them both from there. But usually what people do is they bounce around from one place to the other place, and then they do it. Okay, so Melissa, thank you for clearing that up. I know you're in New Jersey, so she said Nick is from North Jersey. Okay, there you go. Panama Queen, I know, is from South Jersey. That I do know. It's just close to Philly.
Come on, Bashar, get it right, bro.
I know, man. What am I doing here? Laura Cat, you can get one in the Bay as long as you find a place. You have a Jersey Mike's by you. They make great cheesesteaks. I love their cheesesteaks. You know, a place that serves New York pizza slices, the kind that are big and you can fold them, do that New York fold. Wrap up a Philly cheesesteak with a New York slice and see what you think, man. I don't know. Go on YouTube and type Philly taco. You'll see all kinds of videos where people do it. It's like this big thing out there. Well, I'm giving Philadelphia so much love here. Because Philly Sports Talk Podcast is here. Okay, I'm not gonna be a little big pouting, crying baby and say we lost, even though I was dropping a million F-bombs earlier, and I probably scared off half of the chat and half my viewers. But I don't care. And we talk about everything under the sun here. We'll talk 49ers. We'll talk whatever here. What's this? Oh, well, what a question here. Who's better?
Goodness.
Solomon. Oh man, wow. I defer.
Oh my God, what's better, Jokic or Mono? Neither one.
What's better? What?
Mono or Jokic? Neither one. Both are discomforting.
Oh my God! This is not my
personal experience either, but clarify it. Yeah, Kinlaw and Thomas. Oh my goodness, they're both are going to be a number 1 draft pick and high draft picks, while Solomon Thomas was a 3rd overall. Yeah, that's
You know what? When that pick happened,
we could have had that safety from the
I'm usually
Chargers.
super positive about this team. I'm not a homer. I know if somebody wants to call me a homer, go ahead. I don't care because that's your opinion. But I try not to be a homer.
No, just kidding.
Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson. There you go.
Yeah. All right, Brian Cope. What was that? What was the point again about? Solomon Thomas. Yeah. When Solomon Thomas was drafted, I remember I texted my friend on WhatsApp, and I was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck did we draft Solomon Thomas for?" We had because I was pissed because I know knock on Solomon Thomas coming out of college, but I was like, we just fucking drafted Armstead, and we just drafted Buckner the previous draft, and before that we just fucking drafted Armstead. Like, what are we drafting? This pick makes no sense to me. And then I hear that they're trying to make this defensive tackle turn him into a defensive end. Like, what are you doing? That doesn't no, with a pick that high, you don't do experimental bullshit like that. Like, if it's a 5th rounder or a 6th rounder or a 7th rounder, you want to treat him like a project, go right ahead. But I remember a few weeks before the draft, a friend of mine linked me to some videos of Solomon Thomas. He's like, I'm like, dude, why are you sending me videos of the Solomon Thomas guy? He's a damn defensive lineman, defensive tackle. We don't need a defensive tackle. No. Trust me. This guy is the real deal. I was like, oh, okay, really? Going into that draft, I actually wanted Reuben Foster. And then so we traded down. When we traded down, I was texting my friends like, "Oh, we're traded back into the draft. We traded back into the draft. I hope the pick is Reuben Foster. I hope the pick is Reuben Foster." And then we got Reuben Foster. We're all texting each other. Fuck yeah, we got Reuben Foster. Woo! We got Reuben Foster as a 49er. And then I don't even need to tell you guys what happened with that one, man. How are you thinking? How are you feeling that day?
Oh my God. As good as the draft was when we got Joe Staley and Patrick Willis in the same first round, the complete opposite with Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster.
Yes, sir.
What a waste of a pick. And the thing about it, that particular draft, John Lynch did his first trade ever and manipulated the Bears and believing that we were going to go to Mitch Trubisky. So the Bears, like idiots, traded to the 2nd spot and gave us their 3rd. And then because of that, I forgot who we were able to pick up. I think we were able to pick up Reuben Foster because of that extra pick that we sniped away from the Bears. And then we go and do what? We went and picked Solomon Thomas from freaking Stanford, and he didn't do crap. And he's a smaller version of Eric Armstead. We already had Eric Armstead on the D-line. We didn't need Solomon Thomas, but because John Lynch went to Stanford and had a class with him, he was familiar with him. But you know what though? John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they were both rookies, and they made a rookie mistake, but they have learned a lot. I mean, freaking look at Bosa. Look at Brandon.
Hey, look on the bright side. We don't have any first round picks this year or next year, right? Or do we have one next? Yeah, so
no, next year we do.
Next year we do. Okay. 49 Tone says, besides Bosa, all of our first round picks have been busts. Obviously, the jury's still out on Trey Lance, but everyone else has been busts. No, not on Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk is a first round pick.
Not Brandon Ayuk. But
although did you hear about him putting other jerseys of other teams on?
No,
he's posting pictures on IG of other teams.
No.
Yep. He's doing that. That I want to get paid thing already, and they caught him on IG putting.
Does he have the same age as Deebo or something like that? Yeah. Now you got me wanting to go. No, I'm going on my Instagram right now as we speak. No, I want to see. Oh my gosh! Come on, Brandon. Come on.
That's what they've been saying about Brandon Hughes.
Does it even say 40? Well, his 49 pictures are still up, but okay, here I'm gonna show you guys what his Instagram looks like. Let's take a look. Let's take a glance at Brandon Ayuk's Instagram profile. Okay, so it's a black, as if somebody died. He's mourning over something.
Yeah, see, he blocked it out.
Yeah, I don't know what it had. I guess it had his picture before that, but I don't see pictures. Okay, let's see his story. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't see things from other teams. He said they was in front of the TV preying on our downfall. All love though, and they put a
Unless there was some
face.
idiot out there that what do you
Yeah.
call that thing when they add jerseys? What is it called? Photoshop.
Yeah, but he put they was in front of the TV preying on all our downfall. Love though, and they put a happy smiling face there, laughing face, and he goes the ones they love to hate. Then he put Niners with exclamation points. So he sounds like he's a Niner right there. I wouldn't be too worried. Yeah, there's people that fuck around and find out or whatever. There's people that put out dumb. Okay, what was the explanation? I don't see what people were talking about. I didn't see it on his IG. What's the explanation, Mariah? We didn't hear this. What up, Pule? How you doing, man? I appreciate you retweeting my tweets about this live show. So if you guys are on my Twitter, it's at 49er Minded. It's really easy to find me on Twitter. Easy to find me on Instagram. Just type 49er Minded. I'm the only one there. So if you guys ever want to contact me or you see what I have to tweet about or see what I have to say, sometimes it's important, sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's me being pissed, but it's all me. And Pule does a great job whenever I tweet out the shows. He retweets the information to everybody. So I really, really appreciate that. Says God bless. Crazy Juice, what up? He says, well, Reuben Foster is now in the USFL with the Pittsburgh Maulers. Oh, interesting. Okay. You know what? That's interesting. I didn't know about that because I remember looking at Reuben Foster.
Maybe it's Photoshop, bro. But look.
It's not showing it really much because of your green screen because it's conflicting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It's on Twitter. It's not IG Twitter.
Send it to my Twitter inbox and I can display it on the screen.
Okay. We'll do that right now.
Yeah, I didn't know Reuben Foster went to the USFL. I actually went to his profile on Wikipedia a few weeks ago because I was curious: is he still in the NFL? It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it didn't mention the USFL signing when I clicked it. So that's interesting. I didn't know about that. So what do we have here? Jimmy's 49er Tone says Jimmy is a free agent. Plus, we got a third round. We're gonna get a third rounder for him leaving. I believe where we stand right now, how many picks do we have? That's a very good question. I actually did a mock draft.
Well, we have 11 picks this year. We're not the one for Demeco Ryans. His pick will not be valid until the 2025.
2024 season?
2025.
Oh, 2025. That's further down the road. Okay. I kept hearing was that if Demeco leaves, we get a 2023 third rounder and a 2024 third rounder.
But because we got that from
Carthen.
Carthen, yeah. You get 2 for Carthen and 1 for
one for Demeco.
Now, if Demeco would have stayed this year and left the following year, we would have got 2.
That'd have been so much better.
Well, it's the same thing what happened with Robert Saleh and Mayhew, who left in Detroit. We got the same thing. We got 3 instead of 4 because they left the same year.
Yes. I actually did this is not don't don't hold me to this. Don't say if all these players end up being busts, don't sit there and put a gun to my head and say I'm terrible at picking players or anything like that. I literally went into this
terrible. Say it, guys. Just tell them.
I did a mock draft. My first mock draft yesterday actually. And it's my first official mock draft of the NFL offseason, which we didn't go to the Super Bowl. So this is, and for shits and giggles, I posted this on my Twitter yesterday. I said it's officially mock draft season for me. So the first pick I had is Viliami Fakoho. I didn't research any of these players, just so those you guys know. I watched very minimal college football this year, so a lot of these players I didn't even know. I just went off of who the highest player on the board was at the time in whatever round. And if I really, really felt like I needed to stretch for a particular need, position type player, I did so. And so, I picked the pass rusher and edge of Fakoho from San Jose State with the first pick. Second pick, a tackle, Joshua Gray. Third pick, guard, Steven Avila. Another edge, Yasser Abdullah from Louisville. Center, Drake Nugent from Stanford. So I went heavy. I like to go in the trenches. We obviously need another edge. Drake Jackson, what's going on there? I don't know. But they always say that you can never have enough pass rushers. So that's what I go off of. I picked up a cornerback after I picked up Drake Nugent, Julius Brents, another edge rusher, Nick Hampton in round 6. Tight end, we need some backup tight ends. Zach Kuntz, another D lineman, Devontae Maxwell. 2 cornerbacks to finish it off, Carrington Valentine from Kentucky and Alex Austin from Oregon State. I got a B according to PFF, so take it for what it's worth. That was my first official mock draft of the season. They're really fun to do. If you go on the PFF website, you can do mock drafts, and there's plenty of other mock draft websites. I'm not
Oh, he froze. Bashar. Hola. Can you guys hear me? Testing 1, testing 2. Is everybody still in here alive? What's up, Crazy Juice? Hola. Hola. Yo hablo inglés.
Now, where in the hell did Bashar go? Holy crap, he left me all alone on his channel. Ooh, look, the new and improved 49er Minded, where we look at the minds of all the Niner fans. This is my new channel. Welcome.
Bashar is not available right now. He got his ass kicked and he is not allowed to play. Oh, Bashar, come out and play.
Oh, Bashar, come out and play. Bashar, I think Bashar went to the toilet, eh? I think he went to the toilet. I think gravity grabbed a hold of him. Look, I'm the new Bashar. Hey, what's up? Let me see. Okay, I'm just having fun under your name. He said he has to restart his computer. Yep. Anyway, so my name is Bashar, and this is my channel, 49er Minded. Hold on, let me do.
I'm going to talk until Bashar comes back. I'm going to talk in this voice. And so I am the new and improved Bashar, 49er Minded. Thank you for tuning into my channel. We're going to talk about the Niners loss to the Eagles. I was devastated. I was sick to my stomach. And it was bull crap. And I was just one pissed dude. And I'm so mad.
What were you saying? I missed that. You says all I heard was so bad. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
I was being you, bro, with a voice. I said, I'm going to be in this voice until he comes back.
What were you saying? I missed that.
This is the new and improved Bashar from 49er Minded. We're talking about the Eagles kicking our butt, and I got so disappointed. I was so like freaking mad. I couldn't even think. Oh, I was just
I'm back.
Fun, bro.
You know what? I don't know how far, because I was talking about the mock draft. I'm not sure how much you saw because I was blabbing away about the mock draft.
I know you froze for a second before you even went away.
Oh, so I didn't even get to. You guys didn't even get to see my mock
draft, and whoop, that's it.
I was talking forever, dude. So the moment I finished my mock draft, I switched back over, and then I saw you, but you weren't moving. I was like, "Why isn't he moving?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, I'm not moving." Damn, and then to make matters worse, my mouse wouldn't move, right? And then I'm trying to restart my computer. My computer wouldn't turn off or restart. So I literally texted you. I'm like, "Why isn't my shit not restarting?" And then when it finally restarted, I was like, "Okay, I'm on my way back. Here I come." So
yeah, I read what you be right back.
I had a feeling you weren't going to leave, so I was right.
No, of course not, bro.
Oh man, that's that was too funny. That's the first time it ever happened to me. That's hilarious. And for the record, I bought this computer a few months back. Here we go. So here's the mock draft that I have. Really quick, I put this mock draft up on my Instagram for shits and giggles, and just I'm gonna go through and read the picks. Hopefully things don't freeze like it did last time. Let me close some browser tabs. There you go. All right, so my first pick was the third round with Viliami Fakoho, was an edge rusher from San Jose State. Second pick was a tackle. I think we need offensive line help. Joshua Gray from Oregon State is a tackle. Steve Avila is a guard from TCU. Yasser Abdullah in the 5th round. Those were the 3 first rounders. Our 5th round pick, Yasser Abdullah as an edge rusher from the Louisville. In the 5th round, we got Drake Nugent as a center from Stanford. I think we need a center upgrade. This 5th round again, Julius Brents, cornerback from Arkansas, from Kansas State. Nick Hampton, and another edge rusher, Appalachian State. Look, I drafted 3 edge rushers. A lot of NFL GMs live by this rule that you can never draft enough edge rushers, and you can never have enough pass rushers. That's like a rule they go by. Backup tight end Zach Kuntz, round 7 from Old Dominion. Round 7 again, Devonsha Maxwell from Chattanooga, a defensive tackle. And the last 2 picks were cornerbacks in the 7th round, Carrington Valentine from Kentucky and Alex Austin from Oregon State. I got a B for my draft, and that's just a little fun little mock draft that I did on the PFF mock draft website. So if you guys go on pff.com, you can select mock draft, or there's other, just type in mock draft website on Google if you don't like PFF, and you can find all kinds of fun stuff that you can do. Do you ever do your own mock drafts, Beto?
Oh yeah, I love doing them. I like to do when I go on my channel, I'll do like a live mock draft. Then I'll break down each position, what the attributes were, what they did in college, and then I break down the stats of each individual and why they fit in our scheme, whether it's offensively or defensively. And they're fun to do, man. They're really, really fun to do. And PFF generates it where you can pick just the Niners and they'll pick draft prospects for the other teams. So it's kind of cool. It's fun. So I do a lot. I like to do a lot of mock drafts. We got to do one time. Go live and do a mock
Let's do one. I did a few of them on my channel last year. For those of you who were subscribed to my channel last year, I had John Chapman on live. He did a mock draft. That was a lot of fun. I had you guys. Okay. Yeah, John. That was the first time I had him on my show. Actually, the only time I had him on my show. But I'd love to bring him back. Great guy. Yeah. Actually, I want to play a video with John Chapman.
I had him on my show once. A great guy. Yeah,
really nice guy.
And Ponte were on my show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Ponte on too. Yeah. So who else did I have? I had Shea Lewis, who also goes by the name Treyway. On if you guys, he's a big caller on Rombo Sports from back in days, and he's a big guy on Twitter Spaces, and he's very knowledgeable about football, very knowledgeable about the draft, and he really takes it to heart. He's really good, actually, very passionate about it. So he did some mock drafts with me, and we had a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Because, the offseason, there's not much 49er football to really talk about, but mock drafts are fun. And I do have that the Brandon Ayuk picture that you sent me. And so he really posted this on the social media, huh?
That's what they're saying. Unless it's photograph. It's
it's kind of fun. So I see the New York Giants helmet. What else? I don't see anything else. I thought you were saying other teams, but I definitely see the New York Giants helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, they do need wide receivers, but no, man.
Unless it's Photoshop. Then I don't know.
Yeah, so for the record, okay, Brandon Ayuk was born in Rockland. Rockland is like a 2-minute drive from where I live, which borders Roseville. That's where he was born. Now, Rockland. Okay, so later in life, Brandon Ayuk moved to Reno. I believe he grew up in Reno, and then his junior college. I believe he went to high school in Reno, but for junior college, he actually went to Sierra College in Rockland before he went to Arizona State. Now, Sierra College was a junior college, and you diehard 49er fans out there will know this. Sierra College in Rockland was the home of the San Francisco 49ers training camp for all 5 Super Bowls.
Yep.
I wish I had the pleasure of checking it out. When I was a little kid living out here before I moved to the Bay Area, and then I eventually moved
never went there to check them out.
Oh man, when I was a little kid, the guy I used to carpool with, and his mom actually was a student at Sierra College, and so this was my first knowledge of the 49ers back then. By the way, I was how old was I? I was probably in the 3rd grade or second, right around that time. So nobody in my family ever watched football before, and none of my relatives knew anything about football. Nobody knew what football was. So my first introduction to what football was, or just seeing commercials on TV maybe, or at least hearing it from people in real life actually talk about it, was the guy I carpool with. His mom mentioned it because she went to Sierra College, and she's like, oh, yeah, the other day I saw Joe Montana. The other day I saw Dwight Clark, and she was running off all these names. And the San Francisco 49ers, they all practice over at Sierra College, and yada, yada, yada. And then, when you're a little kid, you hear about big things on TV, like, oh, wow, that's cool. And I was just going along with it. But then again, back then I wasn't a 49er fan because I didn't really know anything about I didn't know what football was. I barely knew what football was. So I wish I had taken the opportunity to get into it back then. I was too distracted by cartoons, by WWF, which I was such a diehard WWF fan back in the day.
That was when it was fun watching, bro.
Oh, the personalities were over the top. The characters were over the top. The announcers were great.
Even the general managers were funny to watch.
The managers, just the creative team behind wrestling back then, and whoever they casted and recruited to be those characters, and whoever wrote the storylines it was just top notch in my opinion. It's highly underrated, and because it was so great back then, the current product of wrestling to me is completely unwatchable, and it's been like that for, I don't know, man, God, maybe 20 years. I just don't care about anything about wrestling anymore. I just don't. But I love the old school wrestling. I have my Macho Man intro on my show for a reason, because I just love the nostalgia of old
Queen
school
Elizabeth was, oh my goodness.
Oh, Elizabeth was her chick, huh? Yeah, that's
I love her. I was like, she was always always timid of Randy. I'm like, don't be touching her, don't be hurting her. I was always defend her, like they can hear me through the TV. But yeah.
Steve says, did you see Paul and Ricochet? I don't know who he's talking about. Paul who?
Paul and Ricochet.
We're talking about wrestling. Paul Heyman? Is that who he's talking about?
Yeah, I don't sound familiar. But
Laura. She says, I watched Macho Man. I watched during the Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and Jake the Snake era. Oh, me too. Oh, hell yeah.
Robert the Snake. Yeah, I used to like, that was the time I used to know what the Junkyard, the Bulldogs, the British Bulldogs, the Junkyard.
British Bulldog.
Yeah. Those, what's his name? I couldn't think of their names, but that was fun to watch. The Bushwhackers, and oh man. Yeah, that, you know.
Whoa, yeah. Let me tell you something, cousin Luke. The Bushwhackers were the shit, dude. They're from New Zealand.
I met Andre the Giant in person. That dude was awesome.
You met Andre the Giant in person. Oh my gosh,
humongous, at the Civic Center in San Jose, across from Christmas at the Park. That's where they used to wrestle a lot, at the old Civic Center.
I heard about that. I heard they used to. I lived in San Jose for a period of my life, and I heard that they used to have old school wrestling matches there way back in the day, but that was before I lived there.
Yeah, the old Civic Center. Yeah, not the new one. But
he said Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Him. Ravishing Rude, Rick Rude. You had what was his name? Piper.
Roddy Piper was my favorite wrestler growing up.
Really?
His promos, his shit talking, is everything was just, and we were talking about the amazing personalities in wrestling. He wasn't the greatest wrestler in the ring, so to speak. He actually did come from a Golden Gloves boxing background, and fighting wise, he could actually fight pretty good. And he has a martial arts background as well. But Roddy Piper was an amazing character. His promos were off the hook. He was the ultimate villain. I hated it when they tried to make him a good guy, even though I was a big Roddy Piper fan. I kind of thought it was cool that they switched him because the more people would like him. And people used to always get mad at me. Oh, you like all the bad guys. You like all the bad guys. And I just thought,
they're fun to watch.
They're more entertaining, in my opinion.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I like Shawn Michaels.
And Shawn Michaels. She mentioned them. And
the Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
That guy was a beast, man. The way he used to shake those nets.
But if you watch all those
Ricky the Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yep. So Crazy Juice says he met Chris Jericho in person. Never met Jericho. Never seen Jericho in person. Maybe I did once, because I did go to a house show once when The Rock was performing in 1999.
I met that one guy that committed suicide. I forgot it, Boyer, or I forgot his name.
Who?
Chris
Benoit.
Benoit. Yeah, there you go.
That was such a terrible incident, man.
Yeah.
His wife and his kid, and I didn't meet them, but I was in Vegas in 2000.
Well, they were doing autographs, I should say.
I was walking through the casino floor at the Luxor, I believe, and Benoit and his wife walked right by me. I didn't talk to them, but I definitely recognized them. Warowski's in the house. What up, Warowski?
What's up, brother?
Sergeant Slaughter versus Bob Backlund, maybe before your time.
Sergeant Slaughter, I liked him.
Oh man, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. So he's going way back. Ooh. If you ever see, what's that new show about The Rock and growing up as a kid and then growing up in high school, then later eventually becoming a wrestler, The Young Rock. Like I've only watched the show a few times, which is cool for nostalgia, but I just don't. make it a point to watch it. But sometimes I'll go on YouTube and research some episodes if I can, if people upload them. And they got a lot of excellent nostalgia, you know, because they talk about Rocky Johnson on there, and they have a fake, they have somebody playing Tony Atlas, and they have some wrestlers that play for the former wrestlers and they look like him, and then some of them look nothing like them, and some of them they don't sound anything like them. Like the Macho Man's this skinny dude that kind of sounds like him, but the dude on my Macho Man intro looks way more like the Macho Man does, and he sounds way more like the Macho Man does. I feel like I'm gonna message him on Instagram and say, like, dude, why didn't they cast you for this fucking for this show? Like did you even know about it? Like, you should have tried out for that role, man. You're a way better Macho Man than this guy that they got on the Young Rock on NBC.
Yep.
Have you seen that character, their Macho Man on Young Rock?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
Good. Ultimate Warrior and Godfather. Hey, Warowski, let me ask you this: if you're up for it, I could drop the link if you want to talk to us about. We talked plenty of Niners earlier. We kind of go off topic, and we like to chill during the late night hours and just talk about whatever. We talked tons of Niners and tons of football earlier. But if you do want to chime in and hop on, I'll drop the link for you, and we can talk. We can get on here, and you can vent about the game if you want. And for the record, I vented and dropped more F-bombs in the history of any other YouTuber known to man earlier, if you caught the beginning of the show.
King Kong Bundy was one of my favorites too. The Big Boss Man. It was okay. Yep. Buddy Rose.
Playboy Buddy Rose.
You know, yeah. Lex Luger was fun to watch.
Have you seen the way Lex Luger looks right now nowadays? No. Dude, Lex Luger was like the buffest, most fit wrestler, and you know, he was ripped. He had a six-pack and all that. Dude, he looks like he's probably like 150 pounds soaking wet nowadays.
I can imagine. He's got some
terrible. He's been like this for a long time. Actually, he's got some crazy health problems. And snap into a Slim Jim, Elizabeth, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Remember the 2x4 by Jacksaw Jim Duggan?
Oh, tough guy.
Yeah, that was
Jacksaw Jim Duggan got my 2x4.
Yep.
I love those old school wrestlers and characters and promos. It's just, I don't know. People might think it's dumb and it's stupid, but I thought that was so cool, fun, entertaining. Growing
Watching
up,
Sting also.
Oh yeah. He's loving it. He's loving it. Look at him. Pule. Who's your favorite wrestler? Pule, SF49ers. Who are they? Let's hear it. Yeah, man. I can. Who do you want me to talk like Hulk Hogan?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. These are the largest arms in the world. So what you're gonna do when the 24-inch pythons run wild on you, brother? So just what you're gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you.
What's up?
Do that Ric Flair.
I can't do. My voice is like. It's
okay.
like I can't do Ric Flair. I can't do Ric Flair because it's little. I can do a southern accent, but it's kind of. I just don't really sound like him. It's like a phony version of him, and I can't. I don't do the woo properly.
Mick Foley, I liked him.
Yours was Ultimate Warrior. You're talking about Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite guys. Yeah,
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace.
Eddie Guerrero.
Sucks seeing all these wrestlers pass away, man. Mick Foley, he's a cool guy. He was what was it? What were his characters? He was the Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mick Foley. I met Mick Foley. Took a picture with him. Cool. Oh, my bad. I didn't even finish my Roddy Piper story, did I?
No.
Jeez, man. What up?
I mean, I know we're freestyling here, but
I'll finish off my Roddy Piper story. Man, I'm so bad. I jump around from story to story. I probably piss people off with that shit. 49er Tone says loved Eddie Guerrero in WCW. Actually, 49er Tone and I both attended WrestleMania at Levi's Stadium. And we actually had a little tailgate where we hung out at Levi's Stadium. So that was fun for the WrestleMania when they had it at Levi's Stadium. I believe it was in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a lot of fun. You know, my first WrestleMania ever. At that point in time, I wasn't into wrestling anymore, but I felt like I had to go because I grew up with it as a kid, and it was something I needed to do. So I got that out of the way. What up, Seth Casey? Welcome to the channel. Never seen you before. If you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Says Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, and you mentioned a wrestler earlier, and I felt like I had to do a proper because I love those old school wrestling announcers from back in the day, how they used to introduce the wrestlers, and I felt like
you're breaking up, bro.
I just changed the thing on the mic. Am I okay now?
No, you're wrong, sir. Like that.
How about now?
Well, now you have an echo.
But is it clear now? Are we good?
Good to go, buddy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I just loaded this different software. That's why. This is why I did it. And in the corner to my right, from Hoboken, New Jersey, weighing 400 pounds, King Kong Bundy. So that's I love those. I love those old school wrestling announcers, and who was Howard Finkel, the way they'd introduce the wrestlers and say from parts unknown, weighing 355 pounds. 49 Tone says Jim Ross was the GOAT. Oh my God, he killed him. I can't imitate Jim Ross. I can't do it. And where else? I'm gonna drop the link for you.
Bobby the Heenan.
Let me finish my. I love Bobby the Brain.
Yeah, go for it.
Before I put you on, Roski, I just want to do my Roddy Piper story really quick. So, when I met Mick Foley was doing a stand-up comedy show at San Jose Improv the night before WrestleMania when I went at Levi's Stadium.
Okay.
And when I went with my friend, I met Mick Foley the moment I walked into the building, actually, because he was there taking pictures with fans. And then when after I met Mick Foley, Roddy Piper walks to the building, and Roddy Piper walks right by me, and I fist bumped him. And then Kevin Sullivan walks by me, I fist bumped him, and all these old school wrestlers are showing up because it was the night before WrestleMania. It was just crazy. And then when the comedy show finished, it was a great show, by the way. Me and my friend of mine ran into Roddy Piper again, and I took a picture with him. He was cool, and he said that he wanted to check out the NXT show over at San Jose State Arena, but he didn't know how to get there, and he was asking us if we knew where it was. And we're like, hey, we know exactly where that is. If you want, we can walk over there with you and show you where it is. Keep in mind, it's not like it was. We had to walk through like half of downtown San Jose to get there from the San Jose Improv to the San. So the moment we walked out of the comedy club, San Jose Improv, people, at this point in time, Roddy Piper didn't want to talk to the fans. He was telling us beforehand, hey, when we go outside, just make sure people don't talk to me. So me and my friend, we were kind of Roddy Piper's bodyguards, and we were like, hey, like, get away. People like, oh, Mr. Piper, can I have your autograph? And it was just so funny, man. Then we were walking with him, and he was telling us all kinds of stories, and great experience, man. That was because he was my favorite wrestler growing up as a kid. So years later in my adulthood, I got to meet and hang out with Roddy Piper for a good half an hour, let's say. Really cool guy, and God rest his soul, because I believe he passed away 4 months later. So it was kind of sad, and he didn't wake up in his sleep. So that was my Roddy Piper story, and we're gonna bring on one of my favorite callers of the show, a former 49er YouTuber, Werowski from Southern California. How you doing, bro? How's it going, man? My fellow Niner Empire brother.
Well, we know how it's going, bro.
I know. If you only saw me earlier. Oh my gosh.
Well, first, let me say that my internet's down at the house, so I'm using the hotspot from my phone. So if I'm hoping I don't have any problems, but if I do, that's the reason why. It'll
be better than what happened to me earlier. My whole computer fucking froze a good half an hour ago, and I had to come back on here and restart my whole computer. Thank God, Beto Niner sickness held down the fort for me and allowed me to come back on 5 minutes later, and the stream didn't end, and here we are. So, what do you got, man? What do you got going on in your mind, bro?
Just that game, man. Right after the game, I was thinking you were going to be online, but I didn't catch you. I had so much to say, but we had. I don't know if you remember. I had told you maybe a couple weeks ago that any team is a couple of injuries away from their season being over.
Yes, sir.
And it seems like it got us again and again, man. I was not impressed with that Eagles team. I wasn't. And then when after that game, I saw the Bengal Chief game. I wasn't impressed with any of those teams as well. And I go, the best team in the NFL is not going to the Super Bowl,
man. The one thing about the Eagles to me that was elite, or that I knew before the game and that I saw during the game, was the pass rush. But other than that pass rush, I feel like we're better than this team. I feel like we're. It's oh my gosh, man! If you only saw what I was saying earlier today and how many F-bombs I dropped and how loud I got and how pissed I was. Now you said you were trying to see if I was doing a stream the after the game or whatever. Dude, there was no way in hell I could have did a stream that day. Not because I was punching the walls or was breaking bottles or throwing things around the house, but to go back, when Trey Lance got injured at Levi Stadium, I was at the game and I was mentally and physically deflated when it happened. I felt like I was attending a funeral, and we beat the Seahawks that game, but I walked out of that stadium as if a relative died because Trey Lance went down right in front of my eyes. And a very similar feeling happened to me watching that game when Brock Purdy went down. And people were trying to talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. And had I clicked on, turn on my camera and turn on my laptop and tried to stream on Sunday, I would have just been mumbling and I'd have had no energy, and it would have been the weakest stream ever. And you guys would have just clicked away on your phones or turned off your computers and watched something else. So that's why I apologize for not going live that day. But here I am, and I definitely threw out all my emotions that I could possibly throw out earlier, about 2 hours ago. So that's that. But hey, I really wanted to talk to you about this, because, oh man, dude, freaking, how were you reacting when all the BS happened during the game?
As soon as Purdy went down, I said it's over. Actually, when Warner went down, did you remember when Warner was on the floor rolling
the
around?
Second play of the game.
Huh?
The second play of the game.
Yeah. I go, that's it. That's it. We're done.
Oh man, that was a bad feeling.
And he came back, and I was like, "Oh wow!" I said, because he looked bad. But when Purdy went down, and they panned to the sidelines, I guess, where he says, "I can't throw," blah blah blah, and John, I go, I don't see this offense doing nothing. I said, what I had predicted was that we were going to run the ball down their throat. I thought we were going to catch Philadelphia off guard, and we were just going to smash mouth football and just run it up their throat. And then I found out that Mitchell was injured. And I was like, wait a minute. He just ran that last play in Dallas where he should have stayed in bounds. And like, when did this dude get hurt? And when Purdy went down, maybe we had Mitchell, man. Maybe. But it was just too much. When Purdy went down, I was like,
Mitchell didn't even play. He was completely ruled out of the game. I knew before I turned my TV on that he wasn't going to play. Somebody texted me. I was like, oh man, this sucks. But I was thinking, okay, we can still find a way to win, though. I didn't think that was the end of the day or anything like that.
I didn't think. Is it Johnson? Who's the?
Yeah, exactly. Let's all forget who he is. Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson. I didn't think he was going to be that bad. He was bad, bro. He was bad. I thought once I started seeing what this dude had, and I said,
he's been bad all his career, bro.
10 years, 14 different
14 years. 14 years.
Oh, 14 years. I thought he was on 14 teams, 10 years.
14 seasons. It might as well have been 14. I think it was like 12 teams, I believe.
He was playing scared, bro. The reason why he fumbled the damn ball because he was trying to keep his eye on the defenders coming at him. Yeah, he's trash. Always been trash. The only reason they brought him in, Kyle, he knew the system under Kyle, and Kyle, but I mean, to Kyle's defense, he never imagined in his wildest dreams that you were going to go down to your fourth freaking quarterback in one season. It doesn't happen.
You were going to go down a CMC at quarterback.
Yeah. I've been hearing people all the time, well, why did they bring him onto the team if he doesn't play good? Who brings on the fourth freaking or even fifth, like you said, CMC as an emergency fifth quarterback? It doesn't happen on 1 year, man. And then to get to the NFC championship game with all these quarterbacks dropping like flies, bro, it's impressive of what Kyle has done this year. That's when I hear people say Kyle should get fired. He's not a good coach. It's idiotic talk. They honestly don't know football, and they're letting their emotions run with them on that. Because you get to the NFC Championship 3 times and 1 Super Bowl appearance as long as he's been here in his tenure with the 49ers. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be, 28 years before they haven't even sniffed the NFC Championship game. It's not easy to do. And Kyle did it with, 3 different quarterbacks? Or 2?
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I'm a trash talker. And at work, I trash with a lot of dudes. And
That's cool.
And of course, when my team lose, they come looking for me. But I had to explain to these guys. I said, how many football teams didn't make it with their starting quarterback to the championship games?
Yeah.
How many teams didn't make the Niners? Well, the Niners did, right? How many teams didn't make it with the second string? With the second string, how many teams made it to the NFC? None.
Yep.
How many made it with the third string quarterback? Only the Niners.
Well, you're saying how many teams? You're saying that there have been backup quarterbacks that won Super Bowls. I mean,
right, but this year.
Oh, but this year, yeah.
Nobody has with their third stringer.
Oh yeah, not even close. I mean, as far as backup quarterbacks go, I remember Jeff Hostetler was the first guy I remember. Well, Doug Williams before that. Who was then later down the road was Nick Foles, but yeah, for the fucking third stringer, I mean, who would think that we'd get this far, and then, let alone that win streak that we put on, and it's not like we were the most healthy team in the NFL. We battled through tons of injuries, And
then in the NFC Championship, we'd go with quarterback number 4, and then quarterback number 5, and then we go back to a guy with a blown elbow.
All he literally could do was hand the ball off. I mean, it was just so weak. I'd never seen a game where you have a quarterback that can literally not throw any passes, and all you have to do is run the ball. That sucked. Had that been a regular season game, okay, cool, whatever. You move on to play. But the damn NFC Championship game where that bullshit happens, come on, man. Fortnite Tone says, I'm still hurting over it because we didn't have a chance. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Not as bad as some of the heartbreakers we've had, but I'm still hurting. Oh yeah, it's just like because early on in the game, it was just that major shot to the heart, and people were it's just, oh my gosh, man. But we gonna say something, Horowski?
Oh no, yeah, just the after the game, because I had recorded it. After the game, the first thing I did was like, wait, how many plays did Purdy have? And I went back. And, we now know it was 6 plays, but I counted. I said, dude, he only played 6 plays, man.
Yeah, it was the first series that he went down.
And you know what? Eagle fans talk, a lot of people are talking shit about the
talking
Niners.
Hella shit.
That we got blown out. First of all, we didn't get blown out. Because that first touchdown, when that play happened, I said, damn, man, shit. It was a hell of a catch. The first replay, I said he dropped it. On the first replay, I said, this dude dropped the ball.
When that happened.
When he starts going like this, like for the hurry up, I said, he dropped it. And I was like, throw the flag.
When that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, they didn't make that miracle catch. And I was texting my friends and sending voice messages. Well, why do we have to suffer from all these crazy miracle catches? What's wrong with us, man? Like, why do these teams make the most amazing plays against us? And then it happened so fast, I couldn't see whether it was a catch or not. And then the stupid TV crew, well, you said you saw on the first replay, I didn't really notice it, and then later, way after the fact, the TV crew shows the other angle. I was like, oh wow, well it looks like, and then then they're talking to that Dean Blandino piece of shit that's some fucking NFL referee officiating expert. Like, something tells me that had we even challenged it, because I've seen us lose challenges in the booth before. Something tells me that they wouldn't have even given it to us. I primarily say that because. And not that we have a one-on quarterback. Not that it really matters now, but the officiating throughout the rest of the game was just total garbage and bullshit. It wasn't like these guys.
11 penalties got him first down on 11
gosh.
calls, man. Even when Brock Purdy went down, and they called it an incomplete pass, it was a 50-50. If you looked at it and reviewed it. They should have went with whatever call they called on the field. If it would have been called a fumble, then they should have stayed with that. But they called it an incomplete. How are you going to turn that over when you look at the tape and you see that his arm wasn't going forward? And
I saw that too. I thought that was questionable when it happened, and it wasn't because I'm a 49er fan. Just as a football fan on that play, that wasn't jiving with me properly. Definitely wasn't.
And then the pass interference that was, Vegas did not want the Niners in the Super Bowl, and the referees were doing everything in their power to to make sure that didn't happen.
But the ironic thing is the refs didn't even have to do anything at that point because here we are, we're playing with a guy who could only hand the ball off, and that's it. The Eagles could had the luxury with the ability to stack the box with 10 players and call it a day. I mean, such a joke, man. But CMC played his ass off. He averaged about 5.5 yards a carry, and the DBs were supposed to be the position group that everybody was scared about, the corners, and they did an exceptional job. And it just sucks because the defense played a pretty damn good game, despite the fact that they were on the field the whole day game and gave up more points than expected. That's only because they were on the field more so than ever.
That's what I was trying to explain to people. We didn't get blown out. You take that was a fourth down where that guy dropped the ball. Like I said, on the first replay, I said, that thing's on the ground, man. And then they showed several replays, and then they showed one from the side. And that side one, you can clearly see the ball was on the ground. Clearly. So now let's think about this, because they want to say we got blown out. You take that touchdown gets taken away, and we got really good field position, right? We got really good field position. People don't realize. I'm telling these people, you don't realize that Purdy was marching these dudes down the field before he got hurt.
He was 4 for 4.
They were moving the ball. And then Purdy got hurt. And I had texted a friend. He's a Steeler fan, but he doesn't want us to win because of the Super Bowl count, whatever. So he's always hating on me.
Of course.
But I texted the dude. I had to tell him. Holy shit! I lost my train of thought here.
Your friend is a Steelers fan?
Yeah. So anyways, we were moving the ball. And you can't, they say, well, but your defense, or the Eagles offense tore up the Niner defense. You can't say that, bro. When you don't have the offense, resting your guys like Sickness just said.
We're punting on every drive. Of course your team's going to put up that many points. Yeah. Zero offense for your team.
The defense played awesome. They lost their heads at the end of the game.
Can you blame them? Yeah.
It was all frustration.
They were gassed. Of course, their run defense wasn't going to be the same. I don't blame them. They were probably let down and they were gassed, and they just wanted to get the hell out of there at that point in time when certain run plays were going the way they went. But how about, we were talking about the referees? This was the one thing that pissed me off, and obviously it pissed off Trent Williams more than it pissed off anybody else. Was like I'll go wait really quick back to that stupid Devontae Smith catch. If you go back and watch it, there's literally a referee standing right there where it happened. It's not like the referee, it happened away from all the refs, and therefore they had a blunder because they didn't have a good angle. It happened right in front of a fucking referee on the sidelines. But fast forward to Trent Williams, like they're letting fucking whoever that safety is, number 42, or he's a corner. I don't know, some idiot on the Eagles. They let that dude grab Deebo's face mask for God knows how long. And the referees are sitting there not even trying to break it up, not even do anything about it. Of course, Trent Williams is going to grab that dude and yank him and throw him. Like, come on now, man.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell the frustration from that defense because it's so hard to get there, man. It's so hard. Even when we went to Super Bowl with the Chiefs, the next year we got all those injuries. So these guys know that, man. These guys know that it's not that easy. The best team sometimes doesn't go to the Super Bowl, man. And that was the case this year. And these guys know it, man. They were so close. But, dude, you lost your first string quarterback. You lost your second string quarterback. And then you lose your third string quarterback. And mind you, this team was there, man. They were there. Even with the third string quarterback, these dudes were there, man.
And they lost Deebo for a while.
Yeah.
At other key positions, they lost Kittle. So they lost a lot of injured players, and they will still manage to get wins under Kyle.
We lost Verrett. We lost Mosley.
Oh my gosh. Mosley wouldn't really hurt us. Man. Hey, thank God Diablo. Remember you said your team Lenore? Thank God Lenore did step up, and everybody was shitting on Lenore saying, look, he gets burnt. He sucks. He's trash. I'm sorry, man. Lenore played damn good enough for us to win that NFC Championship game, and he may have done good enough in the Super Bowl had we went there, man. Shout out to Lenore. I'm glad he stepped up to the plate.
You know what? The one thing I saw about Lenore all season is that you get he got forced in, right? It's your turn, get in, and it seemed like he just kept improving. He just kept, and when he would get beat, he was there. He was. It's not like
not like he was burnt.
Yeah, he was there. Like the one. What team did the Seahawks dude where the guy out jumped them? That's how you. If you're gonna get beat, you're there. You're in position, and the guy, he wasn't going up against no rinky.
On Metcalf, right?
Yeah, he wasn't going up against a big body dude. He's there, man. And I said, as long as he's there, because if you're there, the pass has to be perfect and the catch has to be perfect. And there's a lot of just being there. You could break it up, or you're going to be standing there waiting for the ball. And like I said, I kept seeing he was there. He was there, and I was like, "Nah, Lenore's going to be fine. Watch." And he kept improving. Now, what's going to happen next year? This kid, I don't think you take him out of there, man.
We might bring Mosley back, and Mosley was having himself a season, by the way. And people were saying, well, this defense is no longer elite since Mosley has been out of the lineup. But, hey, Gianmarco Lenore made a case for him, and that's great, man. I would totally welcome that depth. I love it. I love it, man. And who knows if we draft another quarterback? Who knows? I mean, maybe we might draft one or two guys.
This kid that we have on the practice squad, what's his name?
Quantrez Knight. You keep talking about him. Yeah. I don't get, why does everybody keep talking about him if we never used him, though? I don't understand.
Well, he was hurt. He's a redshirt. He's kind of like
Khalil Davis?
Khalil Davis, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I mean, so he never played in the preseason then? He got hurt in training camp and we never saw him in a preseason game?
Correct.
Or he did play? Okay.
Yeah. But what he did in college and what he's able to do now, of course, you got to transcend that to the pros. But I like what he can offer to the team. I love Mosley. I think Mosley can come back for the fact that he got hurt. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be kind of going after him for his services, so they might get him at a reasonable deal. But Lenore, to me, a lot of people may disagree with me, but Lenore has grown so much. Yes, he still gets burnt here and there, but he's only getting better, and he's going to get even better as next year, man. So I mean, the Niners shut down Philly's two top receivers. They had under 60 yards combined in that game with this defense. They were only running 3.3 yards per carry. Yes, they were able to get a couple of touchdowns, but our team was getting gassed already because we couldn't do shit on offense. But you can't tell me if Brock Purdy would have stayed healthy, he was 4 for 4 before he got hurt, that we wouldn't have had a good chance of winning this game. So yes, they won 31-7, but this is not truthfully shows what this team is. I'll tell you this, Philly fans, your team has not really been tested. You played a wounded animal like the Niners with no quarterback. The Giants are not that good. Now you're going to face a real team and Patrick Mahomes,
the best QB in the league,
and the Chiefs, and a team that has been there 3 times, in the Super Bowl. They know what to expect from a Super Bowl when it comes to tickets, family, and all that crazy that happens. I'm telling you, the Eagles better be prepared, because as good as their defense is, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes for a reason. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if they get their ass kicked. And I'm not saying this because I'm a bitter Niner fan because we lost to the Eagles. I'm saying this because he's playing against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And he's doing it with receivers that are not really that good.
They're good. They're just not superstar receivers. They're not they're not there with Tyreek Hill, There was something I wanted to say and I forgot what it was. It's all good. Go ahead.
I just remember I was talking about Steeler fan.
Go ahead.
He was telling me they got receivers, bro. They got receivers. Jalen Hurts is going to run, and Jalen Hurts could kill you for throwing the ball. And blah, blah. None of that shit happened, bro.
Yeah, Hurts didn't kill us. Hurts didn't kill us at all. None of that. Oh my gosh, man!
He told me that Jalen, because I told him I don't like running quarterbacks. I want a quarterback that can kill you from the pocket, And if he could run, okay, great. But I want to. And he's like, no, Jalen Hurts can throw out the pocket. He got an arm, but I
He
didn't
has
see
an
much.
arm, but he's not a pocket quarterback. He has yeah.
I wasn't impressed. And then what hurts even more, like I said, man, when I flipped over and watched that Chief Bengals game, I was like, man, these guys are trash, bro.
Went up 49 toe. He's back. He says we would have won with Purdy. They wouldn't have stopped our run game. Our defense was swarming too. Such an anticlimactic way to end the season. Yeah, God better reward us. The football gods. Oh man, we better get rewarded big time because we have suffered in some unfortunate circumstances and huge games that mean something with extremely talented teams like no tomorrow. And I'm just waiting for that payday to happen for all that suffering that we've gone through, man. I'm telling you guys, it's not fun. But here's the funny thing about Philly fans. It's so ridiculous how like all the hate that Trey Lance that I thought all the unfair hate that Trey Lance got. You know, people say like okay, he got injured because he ran up the middle like Jerome Bettis because his Kyle, if any injury we can blame on Kyle Shanahan, that's the one you blame on Kyle Shanahan, is that he ran fucking Jerome, Kyle Shanahan, he ran Trey Lance like Jerome Bettis. That's what that's as clear as day. That's the obvious one. Now, but ever since he went down like that, the Trey Lance haters like, Trey Lance sucks. Trey Lance is a bust. He's terrible. He's not a real quarterback. Blah, blah, blah. Trade it, But now that freaking Purdy goes down in the AFC Championship game, the stuff I'm hearing from Eagles fans and some other fans, I mentioned this earlier, like, oh man, Eagles fans would say, "Oh, Brock Purdy won't cut it as a real NFL quarterback. He's just a Jeremy Lin sanity flash in the pan. Oh, Brock Purdy sucks. He doesn't have the heart of a champion." Then Brock Purdy, like they were just trashing Purdy so hard, like you didn't even see him play for the whole game to make a true judgment on him whether or not he could have beaten the Eagles or not. Like, what the crack are you smoking, dude? Like these guys don't use any logic when they speak. And I mentioned earlier how the former NFL players were ragging on Reggie Bush was one of them. I think Kayvon Thibodeau was another one. They were ragging on Brock Purdy, saying that he was sorry and he was soft and he didn't play and he didn't throw after he got hurt. Like, really? Reggie Bush? Come on, you other guys, like you former NFL players. How dare you guys? It's like a fraternity. How dare you guys rag on Brock Purdy because he got injured like that? That's crazy, man.
I heard on social media, Niner fans were saying he was soft.
Yeah, some of them were. Yeah, that's terrible.
And then they came out that the dude had torn his ligaments, and you're like,
they're acting like, oh, he didn't throw because he didn't want to, and a real tough quarter. Oh, somebody on Twitter typed something like this. Some other famous quarterback had all these broken ribs and he was able to throw. I don't know. Maybe you guys might remember some reference to some quarterback with messed up ribs and he was able to play through it. Not sure who they were. I forgot who they were talking with. Some big name famous guy.
It's probably drugged out ass fucking Brett Favre with all the painkillers.
Yeah, they mentioned somebody. I forgot who it was, and like, dude, it wasn't even the same injury. Like, it's completely different. They said his nerves were jacked up so hard in that game that he could barely grip a football. Like, there's no way he could have thrown. It's not like, dude, like Purdy's got the heart of a lion. Of course, if he could have literally do something, if he was physically able to do something, he would, and it had some pain, but he could still do it. He would have done it. But it's just there was so much limitation in his arm.
Bradshaw. I think Bradshaw in the game said Bradshaw knew what happened, and he goes, he's not going to get feelings in his hands till next week or something like that. But that's not without the information that we know now that he tore ligament in his elbow. And you want to question this kid's toughness, but you forget he came back in the game when Johnson was concussed. He came back in with no elbow and throwing passes. Do we forget about that?
Crazy, man. Yeah, it was. Go ahead, Beto.
I'm letting you guys letting him just get your frustration out, man, because it's so true. People are just so freaking insensitive. Like, a lot of these Niner fans really get to me. Sometimes I wonder if they're really Niner fans or just these hateful other team fans pretending to be Niner fans talking their shit. But, talking about Brock Purdy, being a wuss, not wanting to come back in. When he came back with one damn arm just to hand the ball over. And they're like, well, they should have did the Wildcat. They should have did this. I'm like, they were stacking 10 in a box. They knew we were not going to pass. And no matter what we did.
You can't do a Wildcat the way they stack the box, man.
Yeah, bro. It's like, it's easy to say, be a coach on the couch on your fat ass drinking a beer, and you want to be a coach and you're better than Kyle Shanahan, but he's the one that's actually there coaching. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then you got this idiot. Oh my God.
What did he say?
Dude, bring it up, bro, and read it. This guy.
I shared the wrong one. Let me do it again.
Talking his smack about Brock
Reggie
Purdy.
Bush said some dumb things. Oh, here's that. I found it. Here we go. Yeah, he was just saying some dumb things. So Fazil, the one I mentioned wasn't about Reggie. Reggie Bush was one of the guys, but another guy said something to it similar to, but I forgot what player he was referencing. But this is what Reggie Bush pretty much said. If I can have it full screen, here we go. Reggie Bush says, I don't care if the quarterback has a damn injury. It's the NFC Championship. He better start throwing left fucking handed. Then we don't have time for boo-boos. Pat Mahomes was on one leg last week and he still got the job done. That was one of them. One of the stupid tweets out there. Yeah.
It's not the same injury, bro.
Exactly.
You can't compare it. You can't get, even if Mahomes had injured his elbow, to what degree did he injure his elbow? This dude tore his ligaments, bro. It doesn't work that way. It's believe me, dude. If Purdy could have, he would have.
Yep.
Yeah, and the whole recovery time, the surgery that he's probably going to have, all that's is very unfortunate. Who knows? 6 months, freaking a year. Who knows how long it's going to take for him to come back?
I think I heard today that they said that he might not. He's debating whether to get the surgery or not. And I'm thinking, well, how does this work? What is there to debate? Like, does it heal by itself, or what's going on?
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's one of those injuries that might heal on its own, but how long would it take for it to do that? And the reason why a lot of football players do try to avoid surgeries because surgery would prolong everything, but I don't know how this injury heals itself either. And again, we'd have to bring Dr. Nirav Pandya on the show. He's a big
I know he's getting a second opinion because the first one says that even if he has surgery, it'll be 6 months before he can throw. So he's getting a second opinion. But I think hopefully he should be fine right before training camp, or at least towards the middle of training camp, and then have him compete with Trey Lance and see what we got. But I don't know about how you feel, bro, but this whole Tom Brady crap, I don't know if you're a Tom Brady fan or not, but I don't want him here. He's a statue. He's 46. The guy can't run. And then with this offense, they can't protect. I mean, his offense in Tampa gave the fewest sacks this year. And look at the way he was performing. Like shit. Imagine under our offense, the dude would get killed.
I'm going to go out of my way and say that the way Purdy performed, he's the guy. He played exceptional. I don't see why anyone would say sit this kid down. I don't see it. Why? Somebody explain to me. I understand they spent a lot of capital for Trey Lance, but somebody please tell me how you pull Purdy out. The only thing I can see is if he doesn't heal correctly, or it could be a career-ending injury. But other than that, somebody explain to me why you would sit this kid down right now or next year at the start of
the reason why people want to even not think about him being the quarterback is because his measurables. He's not your typical prototype quarterback, 6'4", 230 pounds. They can throw like a rocket arm, like Trey Lance. But what he has between the years, the smartness, the ability to read the field, to make the proper adjustments, to go through his progressions, make his reads, and not force the ball to his first read, but get to a second or third read. Like the touchdown against Seattle to CMC. People thought that was the first read. That was his third read. Kittle was his first, and then Deebo. And then he went up giving it to freaking CMC. Made it look easy, but that was his third read. And this kid is so decisive on the field.
49er Tone, good night, man. Great having you on the chat as always. I love it when you call in and be a part of the show. I actually I did find the Reggie Bush, the other Reggie Bush quote that I wanted to find, and I wanted to share my screen really quick for that one as well. Really, really quick. Here we go. This guy used to play for us at one point too. I can't believe it. I actually liked Reggie Bush, and at one point I was a pretty big fan of him at USC, and I thought it was cool when he became a 49er and he got hurt with us. But so somebody on Twitter said the quarterback with a hurt leg can throw. The quarterback with a hurt throwing arm can't throw. LOL. Reggie Bush says Drew Brees played a game with 11 broken ribs. Cry me a river. Really, dude. Really. What an insensitive asshole. What a piece of shit.
Did Brees throw with his ribs or what?
Yeah. Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you guys something. I've been around a long time. Don't listen to those analysts. Don't listen to the mock drafts. I've seen it all. It's all bullshit. It's all television.
It's all about.
They'll say sickness this week. You're gonna say why the Cowboys are great and 49er minded. You're gonna say why they're bad, and then next week we're gonna switch, and then it's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I'm
losing my voice.
Okay. After I let you go, Roroski, I'm gonna play a couple of videos from John Chapman. I think everybody should stick around and watch them. And then I'm gonna wrap up the show. But before I let you go, any final things that you want to go for Chester, just say, and in regards to the season and whatever's on your mind, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I had a question for both of you guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's worse, losing the way we lost, or losing had Purdy not got hurt? What's worse?
Losing the way we lost. If we would have lost 37-10 with everybody on deck, I would have hated it, but I would have been okay. Even if we got our ass kicked, I would have been able to live with that. The fact that we didn't get a chance to see what we could do is a bad loss for me. That's a bad taste because we didn't get to see the potential in Brock. So I got robbed. I know a lot of Niners got robbed.
All the NFL fans in the world, minus the dumb Eagle fans, got robbed.
Yeah. So I'd rather get blown out, but a great performance by Brock. I hate it. We lost, but I can live with it. Not knowing the what if is going to be a bitch in my opinion.
Yeah, it sucks. And we've had a few of those what if things happen with the 49ers, unfortunately.
Yeah, what if Brock would have not got hurt? What if he would have, because the defense was playing championship defense in this game. And the offense, like I said, Brock was 4 for 4. They were moving the ball. And they would, Kyle Shanahan would have figured out how to slow down that pass rush as we started to run. But when you lose your quarterback after 6 plays, what is Kyle going to do? Pull a rabbit out of his ass?
Exactly.
Go ahead, Bashar.
I was to say, what other than that question, anything else you want to talk about before you bounce?
No, just that this team here this year reminds me of the year we lost to the Giants with the Williams fumbles. The
Kyle Williams.
It reminds me of the Ravens Super Bowl loss and the Chiefs loss, where I felt like we were the best team in the NFL and shit just didn't go our way.
Harrison Harris breaking his leg again in the first play of the game against the Atlanta Falcons in the championship game.
Yep.
It was a little similar.
First play, he goes down, the whole team loses. Just the morale.
It just sucks the life out of you.
Yep.
All right, Worlski, man, you've been awesome, man. Go Niners, Niner Empire all day. We're faithful till we die. Oh yeah, I have him on a lot. Not sure if you've seen him on my post game shows. He's been on before.
I seen the name the first time I seen you on video.
He used to be a YouTube 49er trash talker on YouTube back in the day. So I used to do it myself at one point, and it's really really cool to have him. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man.
One of these days I'm gonna have you on my channel, bro. Invite you.
Yeah. You're not on social media, Worowski. You're not on Twitter and Instagram or Facebook, man. I don't know. I don't know how to get a hold of you.
I'm kind of an old dude. I really don't do it. I kind of not really that savvy.
You're young. How old are you, bro? You're like 20 years younger than me.
You know how old I am?
I
watched every 49er Super Bowl.
I watch everyone. I was there in person and watched them. But I'm 54. Oh, did he freeze?
Hey, Worowski, did Worowski freeze? I'm not sure.
Worowski's age. No,
I was gonna give him. I sent him something in the private chat for him to read, something really important, and then he just froze up on us. I'm not sure if he's gonna come back. Worowski, if Roski, if you can come back. I need you on
I
my
guess he didn't want
private
to tell me his age.
chat. I don't know if he's watching again. Yeah, there he goes. He's freezing. You know, I'm gonna drop the link again for him to just come back really quick because I wanted him to see something in the private chat. Roroski, there you go. That's the link for you again. And you know what? In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I wanted Roroski to see something in the private chat, so you don't have to come back on video. I just wanted you to read something. In the meantime, I'm going to play this John Chapman video that I've been wanting to play. I'm going to play 2 of his videos, actually. And I really loved what he had to say. I love his passion for being a 49er fan. And once I'm done with these videos, we're going to close it out. I appreciate all you guys. Laura, I see you. Fazil, 49er Tone, Stevo Supremo. Who else? Crazy Juice. I'm going down the list. A lot of great loyal, faithful viewers. I really appreciate all of you guys, especially like I come on here last minute, and you know I don't know when I'm going to come on until my guests will agree, and we set a good time. So let me go ahead and drop these videos. The first one is John Chapman, I believe, is talking about the Let's see which one he's talking about. I think about Trent Williams. Let's see really quick.
I don't know. I've been a coach.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Here you go.
Players face masks and not letting them go after the play. Really? Trent Williams, I don't know. I've been a coach. I've been a player. I've been a parent. I've been all those things. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people for taking dirty shots. I have zero hesitancy in saying, thank you, Trent Williams. You defend that damn uniform. You defend your teammates. They start doing that shit. You're playing against the refs. You're playing against the city. You've got all that stuff going on, and they're still grabbing and holding onto your face mask despite being up that in the fourth quarter. You body slam his ass. Like, I'm one of those people that's just like, look, don't get in a fight. If you do get in a fight, you better be standing up for somebody. Like, that's the message that I continually give, not only to the players I coach. Like, you start a fight, you're being punished, you're being penalized, you're being off the team, period. But if you're seeing somebody getting taken advantage of and bullied and you don't stand up, that's on you. Yeah, Trent Williams should have body slammed that dude's ass into another fucking galaxy. No doubt about it. That bitch deserved it. Now, do I want him hurt? Not what I want. But you do not allow that to happen. I don't care. Yeah, props to Trent Williams. And made that dude look like a damn rag doll. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. That clown deserved that. Probably should have been worse. And if there's anybody you want to mess with on this universe, it sure as hell ain't Trent Williams. And that's another thing. He wasn't messing with Trent Williams. Was he? No, he was going after somebody else, somebody smaller than him. You pick on somebody smaller than you, man, ooh, you get me going, man. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, man. You slammed that dude. Props to Trent Williams. Like, zero, like, whatever. You have the refs refusing to regulate that game in a fair manner. Yeah, tempers are going to fly. Yeah, like, man, it pisses me off.
Yes, sir. Preach.
I've never heard him cuss before.
When has he dropped an F-bomb or cussed like that before and been that mad?
He was passionate on that one.
He kind of sounded like me.
42 was definitely an SOB, pulling on Deebo's helmet. And Trent Williams was telling him, let go. And he wouldn't. So
and those bitch ass refs who everybody thinks would have overturned the call in the booth. Oh, if we challenged it, they would have overturned it. Hey, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, those bitch ass refs just stood there just with their fucking thumbs up their asses. You know, they didn't give a fuck. They didn't go, they don't, those fuckers don't care for us, man. Oh, if we challenged it, it would have changed the game. If we challenged it, they would have fucking given the fucking pass, dude. They do that shit to us all the time. Wake up, dude. Come on, man. What's this one of these refs give a fuck about our team? Let's watch this one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 49er season, unfortunately, has come to a close. It was awful. It was terrible. The game ended in the first quarter, which I hated. We're going to cover this game. We're going to cover the future. We're going to cover a lot of different things, and we're going to be upset. So if this is your first time watching this channel, this is a family-friendly show. However, today it is not. Okay. Just going to throw this out there. If you got kids listening, whatever else, pause, change the channel. This is going to be a therapy session in which we talk about the 49ers past, present, future, this game, this NFC championship game, the terrible officiating, the injuries, the wrong calls, all those things. I'm just telling you right now. Again, if you have children listening, maybe you shouldn't. Not today, anyway. I love you guys. This season has been absolutely incredible. Okay, it's been awesome. You go on a 12-game win streak with your third-string quarterback, which never happens in the NFL. You come out today and your quarterback gets injured on the first series. Not great. Just not great. And so I do want to say it's weird because there's a lot of similarities. Like, I'm a Longhorn fan, right? Grew up in Texas. This felt so much like the Longhorns versus Alabama with Colt McCoy, where he got hurt early, and then it was just like, let's see here. It never came by. It never got to the point where it was a game. It wasn't. You were playing. You know how hard it is to win with your third-string quarterback? You know how hard it is to win with a backup quarterback? Eagles couldn't do that.
My bad. I clicked on the wrong one. I'm going to click on one more, and then we're going to close it out because I think this one makes more sense. Just a second, guys. Sorry about that. And hey, I appreciate everybody who's been on here forever. The end of the season called for this, so let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 49ers season, unfortunately, has come to a close. It was awful. It was terrible. The game ended in the first quarter, which I hated. We're going to cover this game. We're going to cover the future. We're going to cover a lot of different things, and we're going to be upset. So if this is your first time watching this channel, this is a family-friendly show. However, today it is not. Okay. Just going to throw this out there. If you got kids listening, whatever else, pause, change the channel. This is going to be a therapy session.
Wrong one. Sorry, guys. I apologize. But hang on. This is the one that I wanted you guys to see. Now I have the right one. And then after this is done, we're going to close it out.
If this is the wrong one, we're going to fire you, bro.
I'm going to get fired by my boss. But,
on your own channel.
Okay, here we go. This is the right one.
If we just had a fighting chance, I love our chances. With the 49ers that lost that game, if Brock Purdy stayed healthy, maybe. And we're not going to get a no. And I hate that got taken away from everybody. The NFL deserved this game, and they got freaking robbed. They got robbed. Part of that was Shanahan protection plan. Big part was the refs. It sucks. We don't know. Like, I love the games. Not love. I'm fine with a game where we walk out and we say, you know what? We got beat. Congrats to the other team. Right? The Chiefs game, yeah, we had a lot of injuries. It sucked. I hated it. I hate the Chiefs. But, like, you walk out of that Chiefs game and you're like, you know what? Man, good game, guys. Good game. Y'all got it. No way in hell anybody feels that way right now. Nobody does. Why? Because of the refs and the injuries. And that sucks. It's a part of the game. It needs to be removed. The refs need to be fucking removed. Get full-time, permanent refs that do nothing but this, and you penalize their bitch asses when they're call it one-sided. Period. Penalize them. You penalize everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Why can't you penalize them? That was not a very good officiated game. If we
John Chapman for 49 Rush Podcast. I had to play that. He's been on the show before. He's been on a lot of other people's shows. That's straight from the heart. And this guy does not he does not cuss. So I guess that's why he had to put out those disclaimers. And man, hey, appreciate everybody in the chat. Beto, any final words before we go, man?
No, man, just fired up for Chaplin saying his thing, man. It just
did that shock you hearing all that from him?
No, I mean, yeah, because I'm not used to seeing he's more calmer, but I can understand where it's coming from. I can understand the unfairness of this game, the way it was officiated, the way things were called, the way the quarterback got hurt. It was just shit on top of shit. And a lot of Niner fans that normally don't cuss or don't get upset got out of character because it was so unfair. And But hey, bless his heart, bro, for sharing how he feels and expressing. Sometimes you just gotta express how you feel and not keep it bottled in. So
I know a lot of
kudos
people hold
to
back.
him.
A lot of people hold back, and they
You
bottle it in, and they never. And I'm like, no, just let it go, man. Why not? It only happens once a blue moon. Oh, we're Roski, what up? We're gonna close out. I just wanted to make sure you saw my private message really quick, Roski. We appreciate you having you on the show. If you want to say one last thing, that's fine because we're gonna end right now. But if you already did, make sure take that down. All right. I'll tell you what that is. You should put two together. Okay. I wanted to make sure you just took that down though. If you see that message, and if you okay, you got it. Cool. Make sure I'll leave it up there until you. So make sure you saw that. Cool, man. Yeah, just I'm gonna take you off. So if you got it down, I'll take you off really quick. Again, thank you.
It wasn't even for me.
You take it down, man. You need it too, man. Okay, cool. Thank you, Roski. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Steven Supremo mentioned something that was very important. Said, happy birthday in 2 days, Bashar. Thank you. So Steven Supremo and I share the same birthday. I'm actually 4 years older than him. I'm 46.
In 2 days?
It's going to be on Friday. So I might go live on Friday just for the heck of it. Just for the fun of it.
If I don't see you on
Friday. Might have a little chill, fun Friday birthday stream. If I go on, if you want to come on, fine, or whoever else wants to come on. No.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, 49er minded. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Just in case I don't see you on Friday, brother.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Worlski put a message for you in the chat, by the way. Again, I really appreciate it. Hey, it's ending to in some ways a great season, in many ways a disappointing season. Like Eddie DeBarlo says, if you don't win the Super Bowl, so the season's a failure. But there are plenty of things to be happy about, plenty of great, fun, exciting moments, entertaining moments of the season. It just didn't go our way at the very end like we thought. Oh man, it's tough, but hey, we're all for diehard Niner fans. We love the 49ers. We're like one big family, just like Eddie DeBarlo said. So thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Let's go. Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49